how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown, but we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And now we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools tread with the angels. Fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment, 'cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. 'Cause 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 redemption never came. ' I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Time of year carries memories like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing. Just like another season, don't want another day without you by my side. Oh, this season. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Just like another season.
Still as a breeze, the river flowing deep. Don't wanna leave the air you breathe. Living me dreams when I think of you and me. Don't wanna leave the world you see, and I will hold you down if love is still alive. It's all forgiven to my eyes. The tide has turned around. Just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating, beating time. Hey, yeah.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Thank you, Alpha Oracle. He started talking a lot about stats there and bringing in something called facts. I don't know if I really buy that. We're gonna go and take a look how correct he is going to be, whether we should rely on these so-called facts or rely on the spirits as we get underway with our draft for game number 1 between Bates and Nemiga Gaming. Avo Plus is gonna be joining me as always on the call here. How's it going, my friend?
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Well, I believe the challenge was to get one of the heroes correct that we would be seeing, not seeing. I mean, listen.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Puck!
There it is. There it is. You know, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's like when you go to the reader and oh my goodness, and they say something along the lines of, "Oh, I think your car is gonna run out of oil," and you go, "Okay, that's very accurate." And here we see the Tiny versus that Puck, another very high strength gain hero as the cards predicted, but also very much so an Anchored hero. We've seen this quite a bit here, the Puck versus Tiny matchup. It's one of the better answers to the Puck now that we're seeing, now that Tiny is a bit more pickable, the tempo of this meta favoring his playstyle a little bit more than other Puck counters like the DK. We usually don't really see him too much as an answer, and it's tended to be the Tiny.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Yep. Yeah, very true.
Radiant team ban.
As we are seeing a little bit more of the Ancient Apparition, especially if you're playing versus Fantastic Five. BZZ pretty much always picking the hero or the Snapfire. So these are really the two big supports, the two biggest winners. Probably not of like immediately of the patch. So if you just watched like the first week of competitive Dota, I don't think we really saw too many people playing these heroes, the AA and the Snapfire, as much as they are now. I think you saw teams start to experiment, kind of dip their toe in the water with the AA especially, but now I feel like we're ought to start seeing some Ancient Apparition bans eventually, because it's just so good versus like the Sven. He's really great with a lot of the heroes as well in the meta right now, the global ability being on a 40-second cooldown, a little bit less, because of course as soon as you actually trigger the release, the cooldown starts. So he's been proven to be quite a strong pick.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Sven stands ready.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Mariska has arrived.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. A nice little red and purple with, you know, a nice little gray slate of the tiny, you know, and then a little bit of a bit of blue. Well, you know, on the dire side, I think it looks really nice. You know, you got a lot of big boulders and whatnot here over on their end, and tiny. It just fits in quite nicely here. What I did want to mention here before I get into this Earth Spirit pick, although he ruins the color scheme, is that the AA as well, he usually... Like, he's not too hard of a support hero to enable, if that makes sense, right? You think about Bane, and Bane is a very powerful pick in his own right, but you need like a certain draft to really enable the Bane. Whereas with an Ancient Apparition, you literally just need a laning partner with a stun. Like, that's it, right? It doesn't really need anything too fancy with it. So he's also really, really easy to fit into a draft as compared to other heroes because his tool set is a little bit simpler. All right, this Earth Spirit pick, though, for bait ought to be the position 4. We'll see if they want to try and run something aggressive. But with the Lifestealer pick coming through already, it's going to be a bit tough to man fight early into the Lifestealer.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Yeah, that Timber Saw, Night Stalker being banned out already. Quite a lot of offlaners already. I mean, you look at what Bait have banned so far, and obviously they very much respect the Chosen One's prowess on this team. He's not quite challenging the length of that Dendi was on Navi, of course, because that was quite a long time. But the Chosen One already, you know, 4 years plus on Nemiga, so yeah, that's also quite respectable here for a 10-year Dota 2 player such as himself. There's that Beastmaster as well being banned out. It's starting to come down to it, as like I said, a lot of offlaner bans, and both teams needing an offlaner here. Something that's fast. Underlord not really a consideration for B8 because of because of Lifestealer can just rage it off, and it's, you know, not really that strong of a pick here.
Ten seconds remaining.
It's got to have, I mean, maybe you consider the Legion, to be honest. Get rid of Cold Feet. Nah. Chosen One. Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. It's not bad. Cold Feet is pretty expensive as a spell to for mana cost as well, so it's not as bad as, like, you know, trying to just press the attack to get rid of a poison sting or something like that. Like, it's a pretty fair exchange as far as that goes in the lane. Some decent lockdown to try and hold on to the AA, because one of his biggest weaknesses, of course, is that he actually not only needs to send the Ice Blast, but needs to release it. And if you can try and catch him early in the fight before he can get the release off, but after he's casted Ice Blast with a duel, you stop a huge amount of team fight from B8. And then even if he buys back, he's still pretty useless in the fight. So that feels pretty good here, I would say. Plus, you've got a natural Infest Bomb with Lifestealer, Snapfire, although it's a position 5 and it's always Solar Crest, you know, into the late game, getting an Ag Scepter. You can go ahead and, you know, have Lifestealer jump inside the Legion, jump inside the Snapfire, and yeet them all into battle. So, you know, well, I kind of like it. I like the idea of it anyway.
I do agree. I like that idea about Nemiga. I mean, I think they can get away with an Underlord too. You mentioned that for Bait. I think for Bait it's very weak, but for Nemiga it wouldn't be bad, right? I haven't seen the Chosen One play that though, and I do like the Legion. They could, I'm thinking if they can go for anything a bit odd, but... Okay, Doom. Okay, not opposed to this pick. I feel like the Doom versus Sven has worked out before for Nemiga, so maybe that's the idea as well, and it's really good at puck. It's decent. It's decent. This opens up the Legion Commander pick for bait, though, which is also a really solid pick for them.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it is. The Doom, much like the Tiny versus Puck matchup,
5
he's just a little bit too tanky for the AA and Sven lineup. Especially because you have a Willow to try and keep them at bay with Bramble Mazes. I mean, we saw yesterday, actually, I think it was not Nemiga, was it? Because they were our first match yesterday. Just annoy the crap out of a pushing Wraith King just with Curse Crown, Shard, and lots of Brambles.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So,
what was that? That was Hellraisers versus Prostiesli.
Yeah, was that not Zayats?
That was Zayats, yeah. It was
But yeah, I mean, the concept, although not as ridiculous, of course, when you are free to just farm for 20 minutes and then stand high ground with an Aether Lens and even an Octarine Core with the cooldown towns, it's a very similar premise in the lane, where you kind of stop the Sven AA from being too aggressive. If they do start dropping the combo, Doom is just going to go ahead and start backing up, and you'll cover his retreat pretty easily with a Bramble, and then really Sven and AA can't really chase any further.
You have limitless heroes. Another option that he likes to run very often is the Dark. I feel like Darkseer combines well with your It's not that greatest line against the Lifestealer Fire. Yeah. But you do have Darkseer or Spirit, right? Maybe. I have seen Darkseer many times where I did not want to see Dark. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bait picked it still.
I'd like it a little bit better here as compared to when they threw Pasha on it yesterday, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was awful.
The thing is, it's like it's a pretty big weakness in the lane, like you're saying, because not really, because like obviously Lifesteal is just not going to like rage and hit creeps. He's going to rage whenever you want to make an aggressive play towards him. Snapfire, having a cookie, Little Shredder, and even a surprise point in Scatterblast in the lane to potentially turn a kill around is also a little bit scary. But you do farm very nicely. It's strong counter initiation, and they're going to go with the Omni Knight instead. All right.
Okay, I actually like this pick a lot. I wasn't considering it, you know. Oh, Legion. Or, sorry, Legion, Darkseer, but Limitless Omni Knight, we have seen it once before. I like it very much with this event. It's a very strong combination. It's pretty good against the Doom, because static resistance is the only way you can deal with that Doom. Even if he does dispel the Guardian Angel with the Doom, it's like, well, if you're using Guardian Angel to dispel Doom, then you... Sorry, if you're using Doom to dispel Guardian Angel, you have problems. The only issue I think with the Omni Knight in this game is that your initiation is lacking. It's really just Earth Spirit. And usually the way Omni Knight initiates is, I'm going to walk in, tank a punch, and not die, right? However, with Doom, that's not possible, because he just dooms you, you go, what now? What now?
Yeah. I would challenge that a little bit, because I think we've seen Dendi play the puck a little bit more aggressively than maybe perhaps some other heroes. It is one of his best heroes, one of his most played, along with the Death Prophet. Everyone knows him, of course, for the Sven Magnus, but his puck is quite formidable. So I think he can definitely, you know, he's with over, what, 2,500 games professionally played. I think Dendi's probably played a couple of puck games where his team was a bit shy in the initiation. I agree with you. It's not fantastic, because you don't also want to just send your puck in immediately either. But I think if Dendi can try and build for the kind of mid laners that we're seeing these days, they might have a very successful draft. Omni Knight Sven is probably the second best combo here with Heavenly Grace, only short of Huskar, who of course is kind of broken with that bonus strength. So that is super strong here as well. And there's Dendi, of course, buying the golden tier base supporter package, which you can get yourself as well in the Dota 2 main menu.
Actually, pretty good support package. Like if speaker and you want to support a Russian team, I think one of the easiest.
Prepare for
Perhaps because
battle.
he Ukrainian side. But that said, I do find that in general all the Russian packs, all the Eastern Europeans are really well made. I think they hired voice actors for most of them. It's incredible.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Not just because I'm casting this.
There it is. See? The Chosen One says thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Shout out to now hearing Arteezy stream clips in my Dota 2 professional casts.
That's awesome. The please stop jungling might be my favorite line.
Well, let's push. I really like Dendi's got a great voice line where he says, "I'm sorry, my friend, you've just been dated."
Yes, that is my favorite bait voice line as well. Yeah, that is awesome. The punch hook spray is also really.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a quality one. It is definitely a quality one here. But yeah, this mid lane, of course, is going to be not quite 50-50. Dendi can't really get kills on the Tiny. Tiny can get kills onto the puck. Well, really, anyone can kill anyone in Dota 2 if they really make mistakes. But for the most part, they're just going to go ahead and
what an analysis.
Yeah. They're just going to go ahead and hit creeps and clear side camps for the most part. There's Dendi. There it is. Easy mid. Already establishing dominance. I like it as well. They got like some Borderlands like shading on the what's it called?
No,
right?
the design is awesome. They also made Dendi younger in this design.
What do you mean?
That's like Dendi 6 years ago.
Dendi is still the spry young 32-year-old Dota player that he's always been in the scene. The oldest Dota 2 player in the entire Eastern European division. That includes upper and lower. Cheshire Cat is giving him a run for his money though, up on Windstrike now. He is, I believe, 31 years of age. I think Dendi's turning 32 this year and Cheshire Cat just 31. So pretty close between those two, and a lot of experience between those two as well. I would say probably those two combined perhaps might have more professional games than maybe everyone else in lower and upper division. I mean, those guys have been just playing Dota forever.
I wonder if you put all of these games, like not competitive, like together, and all the games you ever played before, you might have more than all the competitive games of the rest of them.
Yeah, that's quite literally the exact thing I just said. So
No. I mean like real. Sorry, not the normal games.
Oh, like his pubs as well.
Yeah, his pubs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
okay.
playing for so long, if you include Dota 1 pubs and everything,
It's true.
all of
That's true.
else combined.
That is true. We'll see here as we get underway. Yeah, these guys incredibly tenured. I remember I looked up a stat where, you know, Team Empire, again, one of the oldest orgs in Dota 2. They have the team tag 64. And Dendi has almost as many professional matches as the entirety of Team Empire, which has existed since Dota 2 started. So yeah.
That's pretty insane, actually. And Empire, like I said, is one of the oldest orgs.
Yeah.
What was their ID number that you always?
64. That is 64.
64. Yeah, because teams have an ID, right? And they like when you sign up, you get like ID based how old you are.
Yeah.
And they were the 64th team to sign up and still doing today. Or I mean, I would say doing well, but they're in lower division. They're still in the DPC.
Yeah, we're on like team number 30,000 something. As first blood's mid lane. I apologize.
I was not expecting.
I wasn't expecting this either. I guess Dendi making the mistake here that I said we wouldn't see.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's only with Avalanche.
Yeah, not even the toss.
I don't know. I guess he doesn't have. He was playing aggressively with Pug. I will say that. Something that Dendi understands that is also a bit risky about him is that he knows that Pug matchups very often need to play with a bit extra aggression to make sure that you can actually win the lane. And sometimes that can lead to over-aggression, which I think is what happened here with the aggressive jaunts that I can only imagine those.
Yeah.
Genuinely was not looking mid, especially not the first two levels for the solo.
Yeah, I mean, who looks mid in the first two levels for a Puck Tiny matchup? That's like looking mid for DKDP. Like, come on, guys. Have mercy. TSA is already having a bit of a tough time versus the Snapfire. Omni Knight, though, getting a good amount of damage, and this is a little bit rare. Normally, on the offlane Omni Knights that I have seen, and I've only seen a handful of them, maybe 3 or 4 in this patch, which is more than we've seen in the last bit of you know, while of Dota, anyway. It's TSA. That was actually for the range creep, completely unironically.
That was awesome, though, because he baited Lodin thinking it was just going for him, and that way you avoid the deny. That actually well done.
But usually the Omnis, they'll just kind of bounce between Heavenly Grace and the Purification. This is the first time I've seen a point in the Degen Aura, but it makes a lot of sense here versus the Lifestealer, who is going to have not only that Overvenom, but Ghoul Frenzy trying to get some more attacks out onto the Omni Knight. So that'll save him a lot of damage.
Mind you, I will say that that's specifically an Eastern European thing. If you actually look at the SEA Omni Knights, this is the way they play. They max Purification and Degen Aura, sometimes Heavenly Grace and Degen Aura, but they always get at least 1 or 2 points in Degen Aura early, because the point is, wow, I'm so tanky, right? That's how you play the heroes. Also, TSA is doing a good job of securing those range creeps. Omnet is one of the things he struggles the most because he has no way of getting close to them without receiving a bunch of damage. It's TSA's job to do it, and it's important to get that experience. Omnet doesn't need as much armor.
The cookie.
However, Omnet might die here, limitless. Yeah, that minus armor is too strong, and he's going to fall. They saw him use the Soul Ring and punished him right after. Well played by Nemiga. Good timing.
Yeah, very, very good timing indeed. And in fact, the cookie, well, a nice 2-man boulder stun there, or smash, sorry, no longer stuns, canceling the healing salve out from Lodin. Yeah, that was really nice timing, and the cookie was a great reaction because that was ready to stun up the Lifestealer. And again, that's what I was kind of going on about in the lane, about how Snapfire has actually a pretty nice lane versus the Earth Spirit. He normally loves getting within melee range of heroes, but Snapfire, especially with the little Shredder build that we see, is going to eat him alive if he tries to do that. Yeah, here it goes. Lodin is going to be fine. They didn't want to actually roll in aggressively onto him.
Omni has a decent armor, and Soul Ring also helps a bit, right? You know, it's like 4 armor. It's okay, but it's not the levels of, say, a Bounty Hunter and Ogre Magic. Not capable of Templar as well. strength is by far your biggest asset. And unfortunately, Earth Spirit is not the best hero to play defense. If you can create kills, great. If you can gank, even better. But Tiny's a hard hero to gank as Earth Spirit, and you don't do much in the lane. Except what he's doing right now, which is secure and rage creeps. Which honestly is the best thing you can.
Yeah. No, completely agreed. This is something that I've been really impressed with, seeing a lot of supports, you know, kind of adjust to a very different playstyle. You know, yesterday we saw Lil on the position 5 Enchantress, which normally is the mech, you know, kind of I'm going to break smoke ganks kind of hero, just build fully into damage. And oh boy, by the end of the game, he actually did 30,000 hero damage to the Wraith King. I was looking at the stats, which was just absolutely insane. TSA trying to go mid lane, unfortunately, is going to have a really tough time with it. But without Avalanche or Toss, they did at least open up the possibility. But of course, just nuking the wave and going to farm small camps. That's kind of how Tiny and Puck both play this mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't kill each other. I mean, we said this earlier and it didn't work, but they really shouldn't be killing each other this lane. The Tiny, once he gets Blink Dagger, is relatively easy to kill the Puck, but until then, Puck should be able to avoid most of his damage, especially because he can face shift between Avalanche tosses. Okay, in top lane though, they're gonna put some aggression. There's the Rage used. They push him back. TSA, well done. He might be sacrificing himself for this, but no, he's a bit too tanky, so he'll survive this onslaught.
Yeah,
well played by TSA. He knew that the rolling boulder wouldn't really hit, because obviously Rage will always stop you, so he had the boulder smash in the ready to pick.
Yep. A bit scary though, because we already have the Orb of Corrosion ready for Kiritich, and scary more for bait, of course, because sometimes we see Orb of Corrosions where perhaps we shouldn't be seen, when Lodin might be in a spot of trouble here. A Cookie to try and turn for Kiritich, down turning with a little Shredder, but that Heavenly Grace is going to go ahead and dispel himself here and just be able to walk away.
And another 1 point in Heavenly Grace for the dispel. It's always kind of useful, but he's going to be maxing Purification. We might be seeing an Omnight that's a bit more like when you play an Omnight against Doom. As I mentioned, it's a bit difficult to play the traditional Omnight with auras, because if he dooms you, he just cancels you altogether. So we might see an Omnight that tries to go for a bit of star resistance, like Sanj into Heaven's Halberd potentially, like a bit more of that kind of utility, where you can stay a bit back and use it. Because I feel like Aura Omnight, part of the beauty of it is that you can tank everything, and Doom just
Yeah,
not only with Doom, but also with Infernal Blade, that hurts you a bunch.
If you can get, as I believe it will, actually only for the duration. Let me see here. Let me think about this. It's last 10 seconds on Heavenly Grace. Duration is 16, so you actually can have Doom duration, which does increase the amount of damage. Because that's the thing with status resist is it does have the status resist.
The DPS.
The DPS is the same. Oh, it's DPS,
No, the
right?
DPS
It's not just
increases,
damage.
damage is the same. Yeah, exactly. Omnight almost dying to the top lane, but only 1 point in gold, friend. That point in Degen Aura, you're right, it is saved.
Yeah, it's super useful here. So nice adjustment here by Limitless. But yeah, so the DPS increases because the damage overall is the same, but since you have the amount of time the damage is being dealt in, you take more DPS. So that might be deadly. Very rarely do we see that come into play, people actually dying to the Doom damage itself. But perhaps maybe this game that'll actually be a thing.
Yeah, I feel like Omni can tank that though. I don't think damage is that big deal, but not being disabled requires much. Like if you went for a build here like Sanj, or no, just the casual Sanj, and you decide where you build that. And you can go for like even the Holy Locket, which you have seen some Omnis go for, that kind of like healing build, utility, Solar Crest, right? And then he dooms you, you're not a good target for the Doom any longer, especially if you have Heavenly Grace on, because that's, your side resistance is so through the roof.
Yeah.
And even if you haven't used Heavenly Grace, the Sanj will give you a little bit more of a grace period to help you out with that Doom. And even helps with Infernal Blade as well, if you don't have to Dispel. You can even go for Lotus. Like, I think that's the Omnight that I would like to see this game, rather than the tanky Omnight that we see in SEA so often. At least to counter the Doom.
It's probably going to be like an uber farm support Omnight, as yeah, they are going to go for the Chosen One. They've got him pretty easily. War Stomp, not going to do much, unfortunately. Cold Feet connecting, and Watson getting the last hit here with the God Strength activated.
I love that No Fear, like he took a second, he's like, should I give it to the Sven? No, I deserve this kill. Attacked it before the Sven immediately goes and takes it before No Fear can steal it. He was considering it though, if his Cold Feet was worthy of him getting the last hit.
That's the good old support tax. The good old support tax here. First item, immediately Medallion here for the Snapfire. Stick even before Boots, so just really looking to you know, if this Omni does get aggressive, completely shut him down, pretty much just with the Life Stealer, a simple cookie, and all of that minus armor here. So, like you're saying, a very tanky hero. The Soul Ring helps a little bit because of the armor, but Snapple is already going to be able to put him at, I think, 0 armor already here, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it's always the same amount of mine. All right, because the down. Yeah, I think it's enough.
Nah,
Minus 11? Less than 0.
Yeah, less than 0.
You're gonna see Ioannis here. And they can't break the coil. I think the culti will still trigger though, and that should be enough. They cookie him forward. Never mind, he's in the high ground, and he's just untouchable. That damage from Snapfire was insane. Ioannis gets healed by the life stealer. In goes Kiritage, hoping to kill Limitless, and he does get it. No Fear the next target with Avalanche. They should secure the support kill. No Fear trying to use the creep to his advantage. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him.
Yeah.
So well played by Nemiga.
A very good read there. Very well played. They recognize that, hey, they've literally used all of their spells right now. We can just run at them. They have nothing. I mean, what did Bait have there? Dendi used his trio of spells. Earth Spirit, he rolled in, smashed, and doesn't have ulti. Dendi is dead, maybe. Yeah. Rikard was there to close the gap. He connected. This is a phenomenal early game out from Nemiga.
After watching Nemiga play Lifestealer time and time again, I feel like Kiritage might be one of the best infest. Honestly. Is insane. Like, I know it sounds so stupid, but bottom lane, Chosen One dying, but counter initiation. There's Watson here as well with God's Strength. Levine is joining in. We do have Mortimer's Kisses, and that's going to be used immediately onto Watson. Can they cancel his TP? Do they have enough damage?
Oh,
just
strength
barely! Literally by the hairs of his chinny chin chin.
Strength treads, brace are coming into play there. Even actually that GG branch at the end of the day is super useful for him to stay alive. That is major here for Bait. They needed something here on the map to go their way, and this bottom lane definitely has gone their way here. Sven already up to level 8 here, which means that he's now maxed, of course, the Greater Cleave. He's got his one farming item. He's going to be going straight into the Sange. I've seen, at least in the Eastern European and even a little bit in the Western European Dota that I've been able to cast, a lot less of just Echo Saber Sven and a lot more Sange and Yasha Sven.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's better as well in general. Like it has a lot more utility because the extra movement speed it gives you, so you become a bit more of a mid-game carry. I think it's a bit better than the Echo Saber. Echo Saber is nice for bursting down heroes, and if you have a hero you can really burst down. Like this game, you could argue for lifestealing, right? But I still feel like the sustained damage of SNY is generally a better option. Especially now that Echo doesn't turn into anything, right? When it was Silver Edge, it was so good, but now it just feels like a dead item after a while. Kiritage as an infest. Yeah, so I love when Kiritage uses these infests to save his teammates. He does it so aggressively. He's very aware of the healing that it provides him. We've seen some insane plays by Kiritage and Nemiga. They always, particularly the Ioannis, there's always Ioannis going in like crazy, and Kiritage shaving him halfway through the fight, and even getting a counter kill.
Look at this! Look at this! He's hitting Dendi with the wagon. Come here, Dendi. Boom. 50% damage. Actually, no. Actually, what do structures do to hero armor? Is it 100% or is it 50?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I thought they changed that. It was only siege damage is only for.
Oh, is it?
I thought they simplified all those. I'm not sure though. It used to be. I think it was.
It used to be like 50, where structures did like heroes would only do like 50% damage to structures, and structures would only do 50% damage to them, or something like that.
Not structures, it's siege damage. This is siege damage. Like structures do deal 100%. Towers do deal 100% damage.
Yeah.
And siege damage from the catapults.
Yeah, it's the same type of armor. The wagons have the same type of armor as the buildings. That's why the wagons.
The damage is different.
Ah, okay.
Because back in Warcraft 3, there used to be like 4, I think, different types of armor.
We have Blink already for Rikard. Oh, they're going to go in aggressively. Actually blinks away. Ice Blast coming for Lodine. Does manage to get hit by it. The Cookie not in time here. The No Fear out of time as he's stuck in the brambles. Right-click down by the DD-activated Life Stealer. And that should be a Tier 1 tower here quite easily. We still have Doom ready to be dropped. Rikard with a Blink is really, really scary, especially for Dendi. And this is a very early Tier 1 tower for Nemiga, who do need to bring this many people for a push.
I mean, it works for a Tier 1 though, so and since you're playing with Temple, I think it's appropriate. As I say, somewhere in the world, there's the Hawk watching this match going, I feel your pain, brother. Grapple Base sucks, Dendi. And if you get the kill, oh, he's been silenced, so he can't throw the tree, which loses the last amount of damage for Ioannis. He can't heal any longer, hit him with a cookie, but I don't think it's going to help him enough. Ice Blast completely nullified Ioannis, and I don't think Nemiga were ready to fight that, unfortunately. They were all retreating and going back to farm, and Ioannis thought he could get greedy and get a cheeky kill there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if maybe with level 4 toss you get that kill onto the Puck. But Puck having gone for the Witchblade, a little bit of bonus armor, I don't know. I don't know if that's a kill there, unfortunately. Especially because, of course, you can get off phase shift as soon as you land, preventing the auto attacks from following up. A bit aggressive out from Ioannis. You could tell he was very eager to use the Blink Dagger in that engagement after he did have to reveal it by blinking away defensively to dodge the Ice Blast. So a good turn from Bates as they persist in the mid lane and do manage to get a kill onto the Tiny. It's pretty major for them. stopping him from, you know, what do you say? What's the thing? A rolling stone gathers no moss. But if you can stop him from rolling, then he gathers a lot of moss here on the Tiny. Very momentum-based hero.
Bob Dylan was an avid Tiny player.
Yes.
Blink Dagger is in the ready. We're gonna go for TSA, and there we go. Rikard found the other stone in the game. Can he kill him? The tree will hit him, I believe.
No, I think it was Lodine, the little shredder. Yeah, the shots followed him down the hill.
Yeah, okay.
Got some tracking darts.
Will die as a result of this support for support, and they both level 4. Unless you can manage to kill the puck on top of that. The kisses are so much damage. Despite Dendy's infused raindrops to deal with the Tiny, he had nothing to deal with the kisses.
No.
And here's what we were talking earlier. Like a DK would get that kill much easier with the team, but a Tiny can secure that kill and much more. Like the Earth. Something a DK can't, which is why I like Tiny a lot. They're gonna go for
going more.
as well. Heavenly Grace been used. I'm like, maybe I overextended, but there's Doom available. Let's use it on Watson. Heavenly Grace immediately because, yeah, now you can't dispel that. Never mind. It's already been dispelled by the Purge from the Doom. He was ready for this. He bait out the Heavenly Grace, the Guardian Angel, and that's gonna be Watson falling. Lodine in trouble himself, but you already got the enemy carry. Now, no more healing for the Chosen One, though. Like there's to come out. In, and the Ancient Apparition will be blown up, but in exchange as well for Rikard. Geartich going back in for the last kill here. Dendy, can they hit him with a Terrorize? They don't. He's a bit too fast, and Nemiga will have to retreat in time. Still a win for Nemiga, but barely.
Yeah, I mean, quite a big win. It turns into a team wipe across the map, right? It is going to be everyone except for the Lifestealer dying, if you account for that initial kill onto Hellscream. And they don't get a tower off of this. I mean, it was really aggressive, wasn't it? It was really aggressive out from Nemiga. I like the play a lot because they kind of just sweep their way through the map and they continue making their run, so to speak. You know, back when I played football or soccer, as we call it back in the States, our coach had like a really good saying, which is, you know, if you're going to make a run, if you're trying to make a play and get open for a pass, like even if you don't get the ball, like still make the run, right? And Nemiga, that's what they do here. Like they don't get the kill they wanted in the jungle, but they continue making that play across the map and they continue sweeping, and that pays off really nicely for them. A little bit too deep there towards the end for sure, but just the fact that they put themselves in that position because they already have the tier 1 tower down means that they are going to get way more kills compared to other teams that don't really make those types of movements and don't continue sweeping the map. So really nice play out from Nemiga.
Yeah,
I was really like seeing that.
I agree. I feel like these plays as well, when you're playing this kind of lineup, is exactly what allows you to be able to beat this Sven in mid-late game, right? You're keeping this Sven's net worth really low because he's constantly forced to join fights in the team. And that's all because of Nemiga understanding that they just gotta take advantage of this early mid-game. Could just even going for Maelstrom allows him to kind of max the Sven's farm to a degree. Not as good as his Cleave, of course, but it's a start. The Dean is going to be left behind. He'll get to the high ground. Pretty impressive play, at least to waste more time, but still dead.
Yeah, still dead, as you say. Dendy really hoping that he can get a couple of core kills here because he's so close to this Blink Dagger. Would allow him to play a bit more aggressively. First item which played for him, of course, as we've already mentioned, is allowing him to input a lot more damage in. I think this is an item that you do need versus like the Doom, the Tiny, even the Lifestealer being super tanky. In fact, what, we have 4 strength heroes right now on the side of Nemiga, right? So yeah, it's a good item definitely for Dendy this game, who just needs to do more damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Here, Teach already with the Sange, and that Maelstrom, like you said, going back into the Halberd. So looking to just be able to kite out the Sven.
It's best as well, not just because of the disarm, of course, it's the immediate. Also the fact that Sven is a really bad MKB builder. And you don't really have a Bloodthorn builder either, not like it would be good against Lifestealer. So how do you deal with this evasion? Honestly, it becomes really annoying, especially with the level 20 talent. 60% evasion plus the Halberd's evasion. As bait, you just need to kind of, I guess, cleave around the Lifestealer. It's just tough. I don't know what the solutions could be. I guess you just have to build MKB at some point and bite the bullet. Yeah, I mean, Dendy's already, you know, looking to scale into that. The True Strike projectile out from Witchblade is going to help, right? It's not going to be the be-all, end-all, but especially because it scales nicely into the late game. As Tiny looking for the Blink Infest bomb here onto Bait. They've got Ward behind the tower. They've got Vision on Dendy now, and they have nuked him down. Ice Blast to turn. Kisses raining down though onto No Fear. It's going to prevent Bait from getting any return kills. Great warding here from Nemiga. Continues to net them kill after kill.
Tower is under attack.
It looks like Nemiga, for the most part, have decided to go for the tilting effect of these voice lines. TSA looking to escape into the tree, should be off and away with that roll. And he's going for the Vessel here. It's a good Vessel game, again, with these 4 strength carries. Not such a great item versus the Lifestealer, of course, but it is very impactful versus quite literally everyone else. Doom with a BKB. Midas on this Chosen One Doom, by the way. So he's got Devour and Midas. So this guy's farm is, I mean, it's no wonder he's keeping pace not only with Watson, but also with Kiritich.
Yeah, that's pretty well done, honestly. I feel like Chosen One can... he's going for the Ags, actually, at some point. So because less of the Doom build that we always see is the let me use my Doom plea, right? I'm going to build BKB, Blink, Shadowblade, whatever it is, so I can actually get the Doom on the right target, right? But here we're seeing a Doom that is like halfway tank into the kind of also using a Doom more aggressively. The idea of going for Ags is interesting. I'm wondering if he wants to get rid of the... of the cleave on this fan. Is that the idea behind the break? Because like the Axe Doom doesn't do much else. I mean, the duration increase is nice, of course. I really think the break is the major.
Yeah, everyone else, I mean, that's the only passive in the game other than Degenora, which is like, I don't really think you need to, break that. I don't know if that's...
Guys, I did it! There's no more Degenora!
No more Degenora. I mean, the Degenora talents are always really fun to take. He's got the 15% aura on the move speed, which turns it into like a, what is the slow? It's almost a 50% slow. So that's pretty ridiculous for sure, considering that the only other 50% slows... Oh, Ingrid? Oh my goodness. Dendi, he's just dead again.
Yes, but Kiritich could be in trouble as well. They hit him with the Ice Blast. He wants to play this aggressively. Watson's nearby. It's going to bait him. Trying to go for Kiritich. There's the Doom. They actually baited Watson instead. He got hit with the Heavenly Grace, but after the Doom hit him, so now he could be in trouble. Little Shredder. They're going to stun him with the Cursed Crowd. Now they even use the Guardian Angel, trying to save him at all costs. But Watson will still fall. The Terrorist was ready for the last bit of damage, and that's going to be their bait. Just needed those 2 extra seconds of Terrorize to finish off the... Sorry, Nemiga just needed the last 2 seconds of Terrorize, and they utilized it so effectively. What a great play by Hellscream, honestly. He there controlled the Sven, controlled a major part of the damage, and that final Terrorize even secured them the Roshan.
Yep, as they are going to head into Roshan, and just a great initiation here, yet again, onto Dendi. Kiss is already coming down, just in case they needed any more damage versus him, but Dendi has yet to go for a defensive item. He's just got the Blink and the Witchblade. That's a nice Ice Blast, at least. That'll delay this Roshan by a little bit, forcing the Doom at least out of the pit. But they will not be able to contest this Roshan here. Great team fight control after that. The Sven trying to stand his ground on the high ground there, but unfortunately he just eats the Doom. And you only get the status resist if you have the Heavenly Grace already applied before the Doom is hit. Our Spirits is going to die alone to TSA. Watson looking for a revenge kill here. Does not have Shadow alone for another 2 seconds, so Watson will just run him down.
Has been killed.
It was just going to be death for space, though, as Aegis now is going to be on our Lifestealer. He's got this Halberd, he's got this Maelstrom heading next into the Basher. So he's just getting ready to fight this Sven with all these items.
Yeah. There's something I really like about the Nemiga's draft, or in general the playstyle, is that whenever they play with something like Lifestealer or any core that's not like a sole win condition, they always manage to keep up the farm. I mean, we're talking about the Doom Midas, but also the Tiny, right? He really not far behind the Lifestealer at all. Which is very impressive for them because they're constantly fighting they're using a tri-core against a 4-1 lineup. And it's very difficult to make sure your tri-core actually stays as a tri-core and your carry doesn't out-farm, even if he's playing just a Lifestealer, right? And that's allowing Nemiga a lot more flexibility in these fights, whereas Bait's all about saving the Sven, and we're seeing that all Doom has to do is Doom the Sven and you're good to go.
Yeah, our supports are pretty poor here as well. TSA at the very least, both of these supports really playing heroes that you just need basically levels on to be impactful. But we could use this level 2 Magnetize. We really could use this level 2 Ice Blast as well. That extra second of the duration and the increased percentage, not inconsequential, of course, and a little bit of bonus damage for these fights. They're struggling. Both supports are real on the struggle bus at this stage. And really the entire team is here, as everyone is having a tough spot keeping up with the farm. Hell, even the Chosen One, actually, the richest hero in this game. We had yesterday Rezo decide he was the carry on the Tidehunter. Perhaps now Chosen One is going to decide to be the carry here, as he is going to go into the Chief's Guard before the Aghanim Scepter. But who knows, with all the money that he's been able to find, maybe he's going to just decide to build a couple of core items here on the Doom. Take that Cleave talent at level 25 and go to town.
Surveil.
money ever. I don't ever see a justification.
Dendi cutting another wave, which they have fortified for. As Lodine is threatening to chase him down. Aincred nearby as well, with a BKB and Echo Saber both at the ready, is going to be enough to dissuade Dendi from trying to be any more cheeky. They have a ward here in the jungle, so they see TSA, and they've also seen Sven, but with the DD rune here and a BKB, Sven is pretty strong here. I wouldn't really want to mess with him at this stage.
You do have a spell on the Doom, though.
True.
The Purge on the Doom has been so... Taking the Guard Angel off the Sven.
Radiant's middle tower is under
even
attack.
after using... I mean, he's kept it this whole game, by the way. Chosen One's never chased. He's also had... He can also explore dispel double damage. It's difficult for them to buff the Sven, and the problem is one very common technique is just buff the Sven, you know, help him out, do things that make the Sven god, and it's impossible when the Doom is constantly
Radiant's
purging.
middle tower is under attack.
With a 3-second cooldown, this ability is no joke.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, usually you just, you know, suffer from mana problems. Doom top lane on Limitless.
Has Purge
as
still.
he's going to be caught. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's living here, unfortunately. And I think the worst part for him is that he's died with Midas being on cooldown.
Yeah, that's true.
Or off cooldown.
Off cooldown. Omni-Knight, just trying to create space is the best thing you can do. Bait is in a really precarious position. They need to get farm on their Sven, but they also need to find farm on Puck and Omni-Knight at the same time as they cut lane. Puck is okay at doing that, Omni-Knight not really. Because he just can't be a bumper this game either. But for the Aura build, it's not really working out for him. There's the Ice Blast saying the Life Stealers or Kirtich might just lose the H's. I don't
He's
think
going to be
the Ice Blast
fine.
will take him enough.
He can always infest
True,
if he
true,
needs to. So, he'll be fine. Going next into that AC as well here for him. Decided against the Basher.
Oh, I like
Just
the Basher
looking
a
for...
lot.
Yeah, so did I. Like I said, I think it's a great item to fight through the Sven, but so far, if they can continue getting the Dooms on him as they have been, just being able to dispel the GA when it comes through, I think AC is perhaps maybe the better item here.
Dire are scanning.
Looking for a bit more attack speed, as well as that bonus armor versus Sven, compared to just the ability that, or the item that lets him 1v1 him. This Aegis is up in 20 seconds here, so Beta are looking to time this perfectly. Kirtich is just going into the trees, though, because they have vision on Sven. Popping the BKB now, he's going to just run at enemies. Ice Blast on the way in. I don't think that'll connect onto anyone, as Hellscream is going to walk outside of it. The two-man coil here, as Kirtich has jumped into Aincred. BKB activated, he can snap the coil. Kirtich is now back out, as they've already dispelled that GA. Watson down for the count here already, as the toss will condemn him. Limitless trying to do whatever he can, as there's Aegis being reclaimed, but the team fight has fallen apart, as No Fear has been ran down by No Fear, or sorry, the Chosen One rather. He's still barely alive as he dispels the vessel off of himself. Dendi on the high ground here is going to be able to walk past Hellscream, but TSA not as lucky. Aincred will go ahead and roll up on him with that avalanche for the 4th kill. Bait yet again, they've just lost 4-0.
Alright, another bad team fight for them, particularly because the initiation was awful, but honestly, again, Kirtich was that infesting into the Tiny at BKB to break the coil, right, and also save Tiny because it gave him a bunch of healing. Pretty much made Aincred invulnerable in that fight. Now I feel like you push this super easily. The AC, one of the advantages it does have over the Basher is that it helps you push. It helps you see Trigard as well. Between that, Solar Crest, and Lil Shredder, I feel like it's taking maybe 2 lanes of racks here even. Depends on how aggressive you want to play this. Sven has no god strength. There's no threat to you about Watson. You still have the Doom available to you. We're gonna play this safe. Okay. I guess Chosen One's low on mana, so maybe that's why. I mean, maybe if he put a Mystic Staff into his inventory, that would help.
Maybe.
Nah, he just bought the Shivas. He's like...
Yeah, again, I mean, that's the thing, is the Purge is pretty expensive to use. 120 mana, it's his most expensive ability besides the ultimate, right? Plus, he's got to spend 100 mana for the Shiva's active. He's going to be Infernal Blading a couple of times in these fights, so yeah, it is a bit difficult for him as...
Shame.
Nemiga, water closet.
That's good. That is good. That's like the episode of Always Sunny where they talk about how we're all ashamed when we go...
Is that so? Is that why is that why, like, you know, if you've ever owned a pet, like, your dogs always look at you whenever they go to the bathroom because they're ashamed?
Yeah, actually,
they're like, don't look at me.
You know, funnily enough, that's actually one of the lines they use.
Oh, really?
They talk about the dogs, yeah. It's like, every animal in the world feels ashamed when they go to the bathroom. It's when you're at your most vulnerable, your most savage.
Birds do not. Birds do not.
Well, because birds never know when they're going to the bathroom, just kind of slips through.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. I've asked my friend, and he's given me a whole lecture about the miracle of flight. Birds, they min-max their build in a way such that they literally do not have storage room for their feces. So that's why they just poop.
You ever seen like a phoenix, you know, Icarus dive and throw all his spirits? That's exactly the same.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah, that's what happens.
He doesn't even know he's doing it at 2K.
He used to have the shard, so he could store it, but that's been removed. You know, he's evolved out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Phoenix is now in a form where he flies faster. You know, he can slow you with a sun ray, which is impressive, but unfortunately has no control over his bounce.
No, he does not. No, he does not.
Especially the lower MR you are, where you do the classic thing in 1K where the Phoenix Icarus dives, throws all 4 spirits, and you go, I hate him, guys. Did it.
Yep. Yeah, I learned very quickly not to do that one. As right now, with a 20k net worth lead, the Sven, the only one nearly as farmed as anyone, is on Nemiga. Dendi hoping for a Lincoln Sphere, but he has not really found any farm after he got this Blink Dagger, unfortunately. And they just, frankly, we have ways of dealing with this Sven. I mean, it's not even the Razor pick. I believe Bait actually banned out the Razor because they saw this one coming.
Thanks a lot.
But the Doom pick into just, you know, the control that they have here, the Doom pick basically is just nullifying the hero, right? Especially this Purge, so.
No, I feel like Purge hates Guardian.
He does.
It's about atheist.
He does.
The Purge here from Doom, as you say, has been so good against the that's why I felt like the Omnet pick had... How do we play differently? I don't think the Guardian Grease build was the build to... I know it's a good Omnight build in general, but I feel like if you could have stayed behind, used your Guardian Angel effectively, used Lotus Orb to at least punish the Doom, or Solar Crash to help out your team, but instead,
they're gonna blow up Limitless, by the way. Yep, see you later.
Just a freebie at this point. I mean, you're just so weak as well, right? Maybe the idea of going like a casual Hood to get a bit more tankies against Tiny, and then proceed to go for those utility items would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Instead, Greaves are doing nothing.
I just realized that we had this Tinker Ward up the whole time during that fight. I was wondering how they saw the Sven like that. And well, there's your answer. They were just prepared for Dendi shenanigans here to start pushing side lanes. Ioannis is just looking to get out of this game immediately, as he has, you know,
he's going for
the Moon Shard. Yeah, he just wants to end the game. I mean, he's got the Shard, right? So
I love that Heritage is just like, I'm gonna stay back, give you a Assault Harass, just barely, so you can hit the towers harder.
Yep.
And that's my job.
Yep, pretty much. Ioannis just deleting these buildings, and this is a different build here. This is not going to scale so nicely if Bait somehow managed to get back into this game. He'll be wishing he went for almost literally any other item in the game with this build. But at this stage, I think it's a good build to literally end the game right now.
Yep.
The new Aghanim Shard, of course, removing the charge limit on trees, so he's upgraded these his piece of plywood to a nice, you know, plank of wood. I don't really know wood. I'm a Dota caster.
Yeah, that's true. You have to ask Ron.
I went to my school, actually.
Oh, wow.
He actually he built a gazebo there as well.
Not surprising.
Dude's really into wood. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Hyperstone here, sorry, the Moonshard build actually a very popular build back when it first got introduced to Dota for like actual carry. When it was actually part of the ads, right? People used to just go for it because the DPS it gives you is 0. I don't think it's that bad, even if you're not going to finish this game soon. But as you mentioned, I don't feel like there's anything they can do, particularly because of your Omni Knight, right? He's only there to buff. You're great at winning, but you're very bad when you're losing. You do nothing, no initiation, no one to go in. Nemiga can counter you every time.
Yep. Yeah, now with Echo Saber, Moon Shards, who's got that extra night vision. Very nice. Oh, wait, you don't get the night. Oh, no, you do get it. Okay, you get more night vision, and if it's not consumed. Not really making too big of a difference here, of course, as Bait more or less just stuck inside of their base and filter farming whatever waves they can find, as Dendi has found it. Well, more like the Chosen One has found Dendi.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. They kill the Ancient Apparition. Watt's the next target. Can they slow him down? I mean, the BKB is setting him for now, but
he might just
ready.
be dead.
The Bremel may set up. Watson avoids it. At least he won't die here. DSA will fall instead, though.
Thanks a lot.
And there's the Stormhammer from Watson. Okay, the counter initiation trying to go collective. And Heritage has
the coil. He's dying to the towers.
There we go. They finally kill Heritage. That's going to work in their favor. Ioannis tossing back the Omnet, but Ioannis alone in the A base. They have to force them to the low ground. Can they still fight just with Ioannis alone? It seems like Bait is respecting him. Ioannis low on HP. They have to help with a little shredder. It's not going to be sufficient. Ioannis will fall as well. Kill the carry, kill the mid. Now an extra support to boot. And the lack of Doom made this initiation very difficult as well.
Yeah, utilizing the Doom down bottom, and Dendi immediately started spamming his own voice lines. There it is. I'm sorry, but you've just been baited. And Dendi was right about that one, wasn't he? He bought back immediately and realized, hey, you guys have only been winning these fights because you've had Doom. Limitless, is he gonna live here? I do not know. It looks like Bait are gonna let him go. Because, oh no, not TSA is TPing. He's a tanky boy though. Yeah, he is not easy to kill. Here's TSA. BKB active for the Chosen One. He's probably expecting more as he blinks up to the high ground. BKB charge for that. They cannot cancel the TP, of course, because the BKB is still active. But Roshan is up for Bait. We've got God's Strength in 20 seconds, but with the Daedalus, I think they can actually get through this. Hell, they even use Ice Blast to try and do this as fast as they can.
If they can take the shard, who do they give it to here? Do they give it to maybe the Sven? Or no,
what are you looking to dispel? Or Spirit?
Maybe the Earth Spirit, just so you can have more vision here and might get more
Yeah, that might not be bad. Unfortunately, not a great shard game. Omnis, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe No Fear you give it to. They are going to give it to Sven. Who's got it? Dendi? Who took it? Uh-oh, careful. Okay. Yeah, the vision's nice. The extra boulders as well, because he's been kind of just using those pretty willy-nilly.
If you have a chance, that's the way to do it, right? Like, you just get a lot more map control with the extra vision, try to dominate the map doing that, play really aggressively at cutting lanes, which of course more defendants helps you with that. I feel like that can maybe work. It's a very tough game for them to win, because the only reason when Nemiga lost that team fight is quite literally because they went in ham.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
considering anything and going up to the enemy high ground to try to go for it. Can't do it. They'll punish you.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Tier 4 towers hurt. I mean, you know, it's 200 damage each, and with 2 of them, that adds up pretty quickly. As we can see, Lifestealer Silence unable to jump in anyone. Cookie would have condemned him there as well, because they had the coil on top of him. So nice control out from Bait as they at least show, you know, hey, if you push like that, we will punish you. But it's still back down to a 19k net worth lead. So back where we started before is they're going to be looking for the quick kill onto Hell. Scream, Ice Blast incoming. They very much want him dead, and they will be able to get him lots of area damage here on this team. He's not safe in Shadow Realm.
Maybe they can still. I mean, now if you are Nemiga, do you just wait out this Aegis and play the super kill Dendi's card with Lincoln?
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. This Dendi voice slide. It's great to hear it as well. There's a bit of expression. Okay, they dropped the Doom. They on the first life, but they can maybe fight through this. Chosen One's Infernal Blade. It hits like a truck though, because he does have the Aghanim Scepter. They're gonna fight through this one, but they've already lost Limitless. Dendi's in the mix here as well. He's not completely safe either. TSA already dead on the second life here. Wants to disarm immediately, pops the BKB, but Ioannis is just smacking him dead because he's been turned into basically a bunch of toothpicks there with the tree. Ioannis ready to kill Dendi here as No Fear is right-clicked to death by Kiritich. And there's a flood of tips then onto Lodine. Limitless is probably not safe here either as he TP'd after he bought back.
Fortunately, not gonna quite kill or quite catch up to Limitless, but since you've only lost your Doom and you've taken out the enemy Sven, I feel like it's time for you to push. Dendi leading this charge. I don't know if it should be him. They just catch up to him. The toss, oh my god! They tossed him so far back. Lodine still trying to get that kill. Is that gonna work out? The tree toss,
he's
not
the
effective, but the Brown Lane sets up for it. Dendi eats the cheese. He'll survive, but they did force the cheese out, which is a win for Nemiga. Now you take down the tower, the racks are next. Sven is really not going to buy back. I guess he had no God's Strength, so there's no point. Dendi in the middle, trying to delay the inevitable. There's the Ice Blast as well.
Good Ice Blast.
But the Infest. Alright, also save Rikard as well, because he infested him before he got hit by the Ice Blast.
I don't think it can kill. I mean, Ioannis has 50,000 or 5,000 HP here. With Ice Blast, sure, you get him in there, but yeah, with the Infest, of course, he is just too tanky here.
It's because he got it beforehand, though. If he did it after, it would have been like...
Stop jungling, let's push.
It would have been damage, actually.
True. Yeah. Yeah, very true, of course, because that would have the same mechanics as Morphling trying to strength gain after the Ice Blast. Not very good for him. And, well, there they go.
Rikard's going to look for a kill now again, just with the Infest Bomb. I think you can pretty much burst anyone except for this man. Maybe
honestly,
you have some trouble.
I was shocked that they were able to kill the Sven on the second life that easily.
He just goes up to everyone. That's the right answer. Just kill everything in your path. And they're gonna fight Limitless. Guardian Angel has been used. No way to dispel. It's then going for the Ancient Apparition. Watson finally using the God Strength, trying to stop Heritage, but he can't hit it because he's been disarmed. Heritage still has the evasion as well. Watson is struggling to punish him. Watson actually low on HP. Heritage is healing more than Watson can deal damage for, and that's gonna be him called the GG as he accepts that there's no way he's being this life stealer in a fair matchup. First game is gonna go the way of Nemiga. To celebrate, shows everyone using a Blitz Doom.
Yeah, and then he eats it, of course. That's very important. You have to eat it.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. You don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption ever came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread with the angels. Fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly.
Welcome back, everyone. Rikard here for DTNN2 News here, coming at you with our one game here for the lower division. Bait are currently down 1-0, or 0-1 more accurately, versus Nemiga Gaming. As we always like to do on Fridays, to give us some introspective towards the weekend, it is my pleasure, kind of, to introduce Avo Oracle. Avo Oracle, how is it going, sir?
Hello, Richie. Thank you for joining me for this segment today. I'm not going to ask you any questions. Last segment was me.
Okay.
I didn't have picks for predictions. It worked out, but it was not on purpose. Bye. Leave. Goodbye. I'm done with this, alright? Tarot is incredibly accurate, but the only way that tarot can be accurate is if I make up the
remaining.
That's true. That's the tarot that we usually
5
draw.
seconds remaining.
You don't answer the questions that you're asked. You make them yourself. So, let's ask the spirits. First question. What is Bait's situation after this draft? Oh, it's the Hanged Man. That is not good. Okay, so the Hanged Man, the ending. Usually, some sort of ending, some sort of rebirth. So, if it's Bait, this could be B6 is coming. We'll see. But it definitely signifies their loss. The winner of this match, then. Let's ask the cards. It's gonna be the devil, the enemy, sometimes called Nemiga, perhaps. So, Nemiga's gonna win the second match, eliminate Bait, maybe force him to reform. And now, if people doubt you, and if people don't believe in these predictions, what are they? Oh, yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
Back to you, Richard.
Radiant team pick.
I don't know. I don't know what the bigger fool is, the fool that reads the cards or the fool that believes them. We shall see here as it's getting spicy with our Abo Oracle seconds, but it's also getting spicy as our draft is now underway between Nemiga Gaming and B8. Let's go ahead and get right underway here with our draft. Bait, pardon me, as we'll see now just the first couple of bandits already on the way. Nothing changing too drastically here early on. I just really want to quickly mention that if you're surprised to see the Wisp ban, it's because Watson loves running IO Gyro here over on the side of Bates. They've done it time and time again here throughout the lower division, so Nemiga are not very keen to play against it. Last time we had a very similar opening. Bates counted with the Ancient Apparition. We'll see what they bring here this time around. Well, welcome, Mr. Abo Plus, of course, here, our caster, or just Abo Plaus. What are your opinions here on the cards? You know, do you think that they're very accurate when you ask them the questions yourselves, or do you think the cards have sort of intrinsic value to them?
I think that Oracle guy is really mad, though. Can't say. I think you might be right. I do think I would probably give the game to Nemiga. Maybe Bait will manage to get the second game. I don't think it's completely possible for them. That's all I'm going to say.
Let me tell you, I'd agree. I would agree. Do you think this is going to be a Dendy Magnus, though? I think we've seen Limitless on the hero before. We usually see the Mag in the off lane, but of course I'm just saying because it is one of Dendy's better heroes as well.
I do like seeing him play the Magnus.
Thanks, guys.
I feel like his Magnus is always the team fight Magnus that we like, right? Which is like a hero rather than just a buffer.
Yep.
Right? And I feel like even when Limitless plays, sometimes I've seen Limitless go for the Empower build. I don't love that. I do want the issue. But the issue with playing a mid Magnus is that his matchups are not very easy. No, they go for the Dark Willow for now. So again, combining well with the potential RP, or have some nice initiation. I still like Nemiga's start with Snapfire much better because of the laning stage. Like, it was insane last game. Amount of power that Loucas had as a 5. Something that Bait can't quite pick up yet. Maybe they go for the Enchantress this game.
Remaining.
Yeah, perhaps they could look to do that. I already like, though, that they have chosen to pick a ranged position 4 into the Snapfire. I think with very few exceptions, there are not very many support heroes in general, especially melee, that will do well versus the Snapfire. Especially because, I mean, she has gap creations, or even heroes like a Tusk, for example, she can kind of ignore. It's rather difficult to seemingly to find a good matchup. So I like the Willow mag lane here, if that's what it is to be here out from Bait. This also allows them to actually draft an offlaner that they want. And well, Nemiga, knowing the lane, they're going to go ahead and finish up their safe lane and run the Snapfire Sven this time around for Kirtich. Mag is going to have a little bit of a difficulty here. I'm curious as to... He should probably just go for the skewer, not the skewer build, apologies. He's probably going to want to go for that shockwave build that you like to see on the hero, because I think eventually the Sven is going to have a little bit too much damage with the Snapfire here as well, and a little bit of armor issues on Magnus, of course, with thanks to the Snap. I think he's going to have a difficult time trying to farm with the Empower.
I do find that the Sven option, as you say, has waited.
10 seconds remaining.
Or not the farming speed, right? It's pretty good, especially because a lot of the heroes that take advantage of the Magnus.
5 seconds remaining.
Lifestealer aside, right? Troll, Meg, and Sven for the most part. Like if you get him 1-1, it's great, but you can kite him out. One other hero, PA is very often picked up. Sven can deal with PA relatively easily. You have to go for him, could be it. So, as you mentioned, the armor to deal with the Empower. I like it. I think it's Sven is a solid pick. Maybe if you're really afraid though, you ban the PA just.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
And then the picks that Magnus has are very.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm banning out the PA. What would you look at that?
That's the tough thing about Magnus, by the way. Pick him. The heroes that go with Magnus.
So what are you expecting? Are you expecting Ember next, or do you think Ember Empower is a little bit meh these days?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
I agree.
I find that what Ember have I seen ever
remaining. Radiant team ban.
Yeah, the most we'll see is like the Orb of Corrosion into like Maelstrom first item, right? And then usually it's back to the Yules. Even with that, it's Young G yesterday on the Ember Spirit, of course, being the example that I'm citing for specifics. And there's the Troll ban as well. I don't know. I feel like this might not be too bad for Limitless if this is the offlane mag, because I think you can just go, okay, I guess I'm not going to be playing the Empower mag. I'll just max Shockwave and play for that instead.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's always an option for. It's not like of course not you being able to utilize the Empower as effectively, because the picks that are now remaining get Sven combined with Sven himself. Like, for example, Chaos Knight can use the Mag Empower very well. In Ursa, but I haven't seen Bait running Ursa.
Yeah, Fuzzy Wuzzy for Watson. I think, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If that's going to come through, it'll probably be the last pick. I don't think you can pick Ursa 7th pick overall in the draft. I think you're going to be probably set up with like a DP or some really annoying silence for you. Yeah. That is going to be super difficult to get rid of.
Usually Nemiga picks the chosen.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a tough game for Bait. That's Sven pick.
Dire team pick.
Because usually the hero, the way you deal with Sven is actually kiting him, right? Say Morphling would actually be kind of decent here, or like, so is pretty. But then what do you do?
Yeah, Morphling might be a neato idea. You know, if you go for the Morphling here, hear me out. You go for Morphling, you empower Morph, you get off a bonkers RP, you skewer them all the way to the Morphling. Morphling finds Sven in the pile, morphs into Sven. It's got double cleave.
Not that crazy, actually. Genuinely, like it could work. I know Watson likes
10 seconds remaining.
It could work.
Yeah, he's great on the morph. He's great on the morph.
Like, I honestly think it's a decent pick. I like the Clockwork pick a lot too. They pick up a lot on no. Very good against whatever offlaner you pick up on. The Centaurs. Obviously he's banned. These heroes struggle against the clock melee. So if you're not thinking of picking like an Ursa, which would be bad here because clocks do the same, then you've kind of secured.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking to say, I still like the Morphling here a lot, actually, for baits. I think you have to last pick it, though, and we have to make sure that no AA comes through. Okay, now we're safe from the AA threat. Shadow Demon doesn't really scare me either.
Yeah, I'm thinking why the reason. I mean, he's really good, actually, no joke, with a shard on us to make sure he can't get kited, you know?
Yeah.
All the room.
10 seconds remaining.
Wow, like the Purge is also really good against the
5 seconds remaining.
I think the Shadow Demon's better. But I do agree that he's good against Clock as well. He's very good against Clock. Pretty much. Not because he doesn't hit inside the disruption, but because he made out, then
Actually, no, I mean, you're totally right. If you go for Shard on the Shadow Demon, you even dispel RP as soon as it hits. So you just get the damage, and then he's not stunned.
I thought, is it a basic? I thought it was a basic.
I believe it's a hard dispel for the Shadow Demon ulti. Let me double check that here as we see Bates go back to the Dendy Puck.
10 seconds
We saw a pretty rough game for him last time around, and with 8th pick here to immediately counter him, and the Tiny's still available, I wouldn't be too shocked if Nemiga just decided to go back to that same matchup. Of course, doesn't apply that movement speed or the break to allies. It just says dispelling. It just says dispelling.
Well, the thing is, because Demonic Purge is a basic dispel, Void Spirit's the pick. Okay. Interesting, because if you actually ask a lot of Chinese players, they think the opposite. They think Puck favored. I think in Western and East, see some people trying to run. He is decent against the Puck, mind you, like because of course you can set up.
10 seconds remaining.
So it becomes harder to play. Your lane is fine against them, but the Dream Coil canceling Void Spirits. So we'll see. I think this matchup is 50-50. It really does depend on the level of the hero. I think Void Spirit is a fine pick though.
Yeah, I agree, especially if you go for that Ags build, like we tend to see, being able to obviously escape Clockwork relatively easily, in fact, very easily, I should say. We've now got 3 methods of people getting out of cogs. Void Spirit can get himself out, Snapfire can always toss a cookie in, Shadow Demon for a disruption. Doesn't get anyone out, but helps him a lot. He'll probably end up going for the 4 staff as well on the position 4 Shadow Demon that Hellscream loves to run. Void Spirit is fantastic on one of these aggressive heroes. Probably going to see the Kaya and Sanj, which has been really popular for him. I'd like to also see the Aghanim Scepter, to be honest, mostly to just really annoy this Magnus. Not so much for the silence, but just for the canceling of the Blink Dagger, to be honest, to make sure he can't counter-initiate with a great RP.
No, I agree. I think the Void Spirit's solid against the... It's really just the Puck matchup. It's also really good against Clockwork, because it's similar out of cogs, and Clockwork feels... Dark Willow suffers against... Nemiga, though, I'm sorry, what I'm surprised about Bait is that they picked Puck here as opposed to picking up their carry, which means that they think they have a lot of options, at least 3 options as carry that are equally as good, which is a way to use the Magnus because he does open up your carry options, but I'm still surprised considering you usually want a combo here, and I don't know if you have that many options. Like, yeah, now you're banning the Phantom Lancer, which could have worked, but Sven can deal with Phantom Lancer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we look at these last 5 bans, right? They've all been carries. Bait haven't banned a single carry, but even still, there's no carries left that that would come to your mind in the top 3, of your Watch Mojo top 10 Magnus Empower combos. We don't have any of those. Yeah, they've all been banned.
I honestly still like the Morphling. The Shadow Demon does block that a bit.
Dire team pick.
I like Morphling. I think. No, not for you, Nemiga Bates.
They had misunderstood us.
No.
Maybe the idea was a block pick all along because Morphling has a. So Void Spirit offlane, Morphling mid, sort of. Or maybe Sven mid? Because Morphling matchup against Puck is not very.
I think it's a Sven safe, a Morphling mid, and a Void Spirit offlane. To be honest.
I mean, yeah, but the matchup between Morphling.
I mean, I see that. I think that's just a deny pick, to be honest. I mean, look, Bait, they got 4 seconds. Okay, they're gonna go with Snake Lady.
Like, what do we use? I said it earlier, Medusa's like the right pick here. Yeah, see, look, it's they're gonna play. Oh, it's a Sven offlane. Oh.
We haven't seen that for a while. Remember back in the day when what is it? It gave bonus strength on Warcry or whatever, and he would build Vlads, and that's all he needed.
Yeah, no. Warcry used to give you a damage shield. And
that's right, right.
Yeah, and based on your strength, and so you'd use God's Strength used to give strength, you used to use God's Strength into Warcry, and you're like, God, I'm unkillable. I mean, this is quite fascinating. I like the Nemiga picks. I think Morphling was what Babe was thinking about, because they immediately go into DOTA instead. I did suggest DOTA earlier, because I think DOTA is probably the best pick against Nemiga's lineup, but DOTA has not much synergy in your own lineup, unfortunately. You have that issue. Chinese DOTA would be good here, if it wasn't because, I don't know, against Ben, offlane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna challenge that. I think the DOTA, there's not a whole lot of synergy because you could pick any heroes that just stun, right? But I think the specific heroes that Bait have, RP, Cogs, and Dream Coil here specifically, even hell, the Willow with Brambles, all really do help the DOTA. Because if you want to jump the DOTA, you're gonna have a lot of heroes to go through. If you're trying to run away from this lineup, you're gonna be hard pressed to do that as well with a Clockwork and a Puck on your tail. You know, and that's DOTA's biggest weaknesses here. Yes, you close the gap insanely easily, right? You've got great setup here, disruption into kisses, Sven, God Strength, ready to go as soon as the DOTA comes back out. But we also have great counter initiation. I like Bates drafts actually. I really like this DOTA pick.
I mean, I'm just not very question marky about. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, that lane's bad.
I don't know, it's bad, but the lane's gonna be really difficult. I actually like the Sven mid more.
Yeah, to be clear, that's what I said. I said that lane is bad. I don't think the pick is bad. The lane is bad, and I think that is going to help this DOTA draft here for bait. I'm all in for bait on this one, actually. I think I really like what they've got.
I'm gonna go with the prediction and say it's Nemiga, because they did play a much better last game than bait. However, I'm just fascinated by this fight. I am fascinated by this fight, because clearly they were planning on flexing it. I don't know. I don't think they like. I mean, they could be. They just forgot about the morph play. They're like, ah, fuck. And then they just deny pick, and they have to adjust their whole draft, but that would be weird.
Yeah, it is really weird.
I can't imagine a pro team actually.
It was pretty quick as well on that pick. So to me, I suspect that they kind of need. I mean, you're playing against Watson. You have to know against what the Juggernaut and the Morph lane, I would say, for sure.
Exactly. So that's why I don't think it'd be something. That's why they didn't ban it. It'd be weird. Like it's weird to ban the Phantom Lancer over the Morph lane, right there. Because you have a Sven already. So if you're planning on running Sven carry from the start, like, why would you ban Phantom Lancer? I bet Bait was thinking the same thing. Haha, they banned Phantom Lancer. They're so stupid. It's like, oh no, wait, it's a Sven up.
Yeah,
how do you
I guess
build
so.
it? I wonder if you. I guess you go like drums, ads, Voive. Oh, voice. Okay. I thought he was trying to say Volvo.
What would he be saying Volvo over? Volvo, I bought my supporter pack and it didn't show up. Please fix.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. He's trying to get into dire type game.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, for now, Chosen will just going for the Bracer. I mean, what do you build on this guy? Maybe you go for like an early blink and play it like a DK off lane, just play around the stun a little bit more and be that tanky boy initially absorbing some spells for your team, giving a lot more free run to your very squishy but highly mobile and chorus to follow up, right? Void Spirit, Morphlane, both kind of countered by the same things to some degree. Morphlane's a bit more special, right? Because AA for him, but you know, a silence onto both, a solid stun, and you should be able to just set up a kill onto them.
I mean, if your team fight is well executed by Bait, I do agree with your point you were making there within the idea that you're just all about the team. And if you go for the blue Sags, I think the timing is also the rest of your team. So
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, and I can see that strength there. You know, I'm really hoping Magnus does not max in power though this game. That would be cool.
Me too. I think that would be, may I even say, the wrong move to be making. I think you'd maybe take like a point so you can farm a bit faster in the jungle or whatever, right? And that's fine. That's acceptable. But yeah, okay. First point, Shockwave. I think we're good to go. I'm all in for this bait draft. They also play really strong as just the 4 of these heroes without the DOTA. So even when they don't have their Medusa, they still are pretty mean in this 4v4, 4v5, maybe even engagements. And I don't think they'll ever really have to 4v5 for that long. If they do, then the game is probably lost. But because Kiritich is going to have to go for more of a stats build this time around. He's already got probably... yeah, I mean, just look, he's not going to go... Yeah, he's going to go stats Morphlane. He's stats Morphlane as a carry. I don't think he wants to go E-Blade here. No. So he's going to be farming for a bit.
It's the build 100%, because stats Morphlane traditionally goes for Scotty, right? Scotty on a just your slower movements, so the best way to do it. Lonza style is also very important to be able to either avoid that snake or avoid any of the other spells with the potential silences we're talking about.
The choice.
So I do like the stats build here. Also, a lot of the Morphling players do argue that the stats build, unless you need to play tempo, is just better. If you could. The thing is, most of the time it's a bit too slow. Now, even a Linkage is not a bad idea that's good. Just because of the mono region is kind of necessary.
Yeah, no. I think Nope here forgot he was on the Dire side. He was kind of just walking. Oh, maybe he was looking to. Okay, they're gonna force Sven. I'm not sure what he was doing. Not really sure what he was doing. Anyway, I'm keeping my eyes on mid just in case that somehow they get another first blood here. We said that last time.
Yeah, but this time I've calculated all the possibilities. Cards have spoken to me. Look, he didn't even go for the first point in phase shift, which is how you play this. Oh, nice waiting rift. Oh, that's on point, actually. That stopped it. He was about to do the double last hit with the field. And Heinkrad's like, stupid Dandy, taking my last hits away from me, punishing him.
You gotta play with Dendy's face as well in the mid lane here.
Yeah.
As you say.
Heritage, bottom. He's got hit by the skewer, and he's gonna die down to the Shadow Realm. Heritage playing a bit too aggressively, and also going for the Adaptive Strike in a lane that's not gonna be so easy for you. Yeah, a bit too hasty on that. He's underestimating the Magnus.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see that pointed Adaptive Strike. I mean, yeah, I'm honestly shocked, to be honest, because you can get skewered from bramble to bramble, and that will still root you if you get pushed through a bramble. Actually, it's a little bit of a weird combo, so you can get really controlled in this lane. Top, speaking of controlled, No Fear looking to run away. He's got 1 stack of Shadow Poison on him, and I don't think they're going to be able to get any more as he retreats underneath the safety to the tier 1 tower.
That Mystic Snake slow is so. Already close, but however, they're good lane shenanigans. The difficulty, I mean, for DOTA to some degree, just not gonna be able to kill unless it's all about the creep aggro here. You might not be able to get as many lasts as you'd like, but killing him is a tall order.
Expectations altered.
Or unless your Shadow Demon leaves you completely alone.
Yeah,
that also
that might do it, but the move speed here, yeah, he's gonna be okay. Even with boots, No Fear is unable to catch up to him. We needed a Mystic Snake there for a kill. Oh, you're saying oh no. Did he miss the stack?
No, he blocked his own.
Oof. Oof.
That was a misclick. So he was spending a while trying to like get rid of the sentry. But I caught it, Hellscream. It's no big deal. It happens to the best of us. I think that's just a misclick.
Oh, and now he doesn't have a sentry. So No Fear is just gonna walk out up here and say, hey, by the way.
Oh no, he takes the bounty. Has no sentry himself. Hellscream annoying him. Only Shadow Poison level 1. Well, it's difficult to kill No Fear with this. He's not even going to waste more charges.
He's got a stick. Yeah, he's got a stick too, so it would be really difficult here. Oh, that's real unfortunate from Hellscream. But shouldn't be too impactful. I mean, your offlane Sven would have wanted to farm those stacks. I mean, what's the skill build he's going to go for actually on this offlane Sven? I think you have to go cleave, right? Still?
You max the hammer and think enough for you to. I think so. 1 point on Warcry and then you max. Because I don't think the bonus armor is that necessary in the early game.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, I don't think you can max cleave, because then you have 3 people that want to hit creeps and no one to fight a Puck, no one to fight a Magnus early on, even without a blink or without any mobility, can really make RPs super useful against these heroes that don't really have any fighting abilities, or they just have farming abilities instead.
Yeah, if you had some way to like really secure stack, like if a bunch of stacks or some way to really you can guarantee at least you at level 9 relatively. It's also an ability that scales really well. Whereas Cleave scales well if you're a carry, it doesn't scale well, I think. You might even skip Cleave altogether, that just takes away one that's being able to farm. I think even as an offlaner, you want that, especially up against a meta.
Oh, well, we'll see here what he's going to want to go for. I think you're on the money though here. There's the 2-1-1.
Wait for him. Rikard is still in trouble. Oh, he's keeping it. He's baiting them there. We're bait. How is he baiting us? But
how is he doing that? That's illegal.
He has a magic stick though to heal back up and even a setup. This is the thing at least keeps Morphing alive a lot of the time. Grasping against Morphing is tough to keep up. How his healing is just. Oh, chosen one. I'm glad the Hellscream is not rotating anymore. He finally got a second sentry. I think he should be always in this lane with the Sven. Because Chosen One's doing a pretty decent job actually. Better than Magnus. And Ben, that's a.
Yeah, that's true. Mag did get a little bit of first blood bounty, so the 1 CS difference is going to be negated by that. But given that, yeah, it is Shockwave here. Actually, the exact same skill build for both supports, for both offlaners, I should say. Not maxing their farming ability, going instead for a little bit more skirmishing style, at least. I mean, I guess Shockwave helps you farm in the lane, but they're stronger now in lane at least. But the biggest difference I will say is that we've got 10 denies here on Watson already compared to 7. It's very actually similar tempo, strikingly similar in both sides of the river here, surprisingly. Cookie is for bottom. Can they get a kill here onto TSA? Lil Shredder's already been used. They deny the rune, but will get a kill here onto TSA. He's gonna try. No, actually gets clapped.
Well done.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Icard or Lodi should have positioned themselves. It's 3 heroes with Chick.
Yeah.
If he didn't clap him, I don't think he'd say that.
Yep, exactly.
They messed up with the time.
Three valid targets is the technical way of saying that. But yes, your 3 heroes are 3 valid targets, 2 illusions in a hero, 3 illusions, 3 creep. Yeah, any combination. Yes.
They go for the fuck here in the mid lane as well. Then he will die. Lodin at least taking advantage of that little shredder. Only level 2 and already dealing an insane amount of damage. And Minecraft, we do see the anti-fuck build here, where you go for the 2 points beneath the remnant, punish that potential.
Dire's middle tower is
Which
under
Dendi has
attack.
not taken a skill point in here, of course. So at this stage, it's still pretty easy kills for him. They did at least leave Kiritich alone down bottom for a little bit. But now that TSA is back, trying to snipe Kiritich here with the Shockwave level 3 into a nice little burst of damage out from the Shadow Realm. Unfortunately, Kiritich saw that coming, and he is not going to be caught off guard by that one. Level 3 now in the attribute shift. With plenty of mana, of course, going for that Ring of Bacillus. Last time we spoke about this, someone was wrong in the chat. It does cost 10 mana to shift attributes. You're wrong.
Why are you so angry about that?
But to be fair, it doesn't actually say it anywhere for some reason. It should really say it.
It does do it, yeah.
Yeah, but it costs mana. It costs mana. You could see. There it goes. But it doesn't say it anywhere on attribute shift, like in the tooltips, right? Whatever.
Gee, that cookie cutter number 55 really
He's wrong.
has a waveform. Oh my god, the little shredder. Can they go for the Magnus? No, Kiritich is... He acknowledges. He has the morph though. That's why he wants to play aggressively, because he can't use it to get a kill on the Magnus, but it's a bit difficult. They're waiting actually for Ike to rotate. They're trying to bait out here Limitless and stay a bit longer. Koki, little shredder in 4 seconds, might just be enough to kill him. Ike coming with level 6, there we go. Oh! Yeah, he gets it with never mind. And they even get on the Willow, missing that stun. Lodi just wants to get away from this. Not gonna find the space. TSA gets a nice little counter kill thanks to that Shadow Realm.
Yeah, and Hellscream now is really starting to get these stacks on. In fact, he's, you know what, I didn't expect this, Avo. Of all the people, of all the stack clears we have on his team, he's the one taking the stack. Dendi's going to look to contest this. Does not manage to steal anything, but Hellscream is very likely to die here. Last illusory orb if we need it. See you later.
You took that
yeah, so back to the Morphling thing. Actually, a mention I want to say is that I don't think actually Lincoln's a bad idea if you see because that would stop a potential setup that's actually really easy to use, right? Unless you waveform into it. Because catching Morphling with RP is catching with Waiting Rift, but catching with RP. So it's either hook shot or Stone Gate or the Mystic Snake.
Yeah.
The Lincoln stats are really good for Morphling these days now that he needs Mana Region.
Or they have to double commit ultis, and if they do that, you just keep your Void Spirit ready to counter-initiate along with your Sven. You just accept that, you know, guess what? You know, I can be real tanky, so if you RP me and you use Dream Coil, I guess our team will be happy with that.
Exactly, right? So it's really the Pocket's going to catch the Morphling of that, but since you can just go and BKB enough for you to fuck, and the Lincolns will stop the other way. Idea, especially because I think Kiritich has a lot of options when it. Yes, he can go for stats more. Dragon, that's not Scotty. But at some point, he could consider shifting into this build because you have a Willow on the enemy team. Possibility. Strong in this game. You could go for potentially the shotgun build as well. Once you see that the enemy team is. The Magnus is not that tanky here. Punish him. Clockwork in the center vein, right? Stats that gives you something good. It's all up to see, like, Kiritich's flexibility will depend on how the game...
Yeah. It will. And I think right now, given the way that the lane is going, Dendi, yet again, kind of not really struggling too much here. He's going to be looking for a Dream Coil with the last couple of seconds of this Arcane Rune down bottom onto Kiritich. He's got Waveform ready to go, but we also have RP and Skewer, TPs at the ready from everyone but Hellscream, and actually Kiritich. So if anyone's going to TP, it would have to be a core. They might have this kill down bottom, I think. And in fact, I think they will. We've got a Shadow Realm attack coming soon. And probably just Shockwave into RP. And Dendi making the jump out here with the Waning Rift. They will know that Dendi's off to one of the side lanes because No Fear is taking, pardon me, CS under the tower. So, you know, just giving a quick look at what they see. They know for sure something is coming somewhere. And right now it looks like they're gambling that it's top lane perhaps. With Ioannis already moving into the jungle. So we'll see if this is a successful gank out from Dendi. It's going to be super nice for the likes of Bait.
Yep, Bait can play this faster, honestly. I don't think Sven is going to be able to give you too much. He's going to be going for the medallion build. It's just Not going to be drums or anything to allow him to actually fight a bit early. I'll decide just going for a full utility build, which might work. I don't know. I don't see the advantage of, say, not playing Sven over any of the other heroes. This kind of utility. Maybe a bit defensive. He's going to be really good against DOTA, though. Brings all this armor. That's why I like the Vlad add to the armor.
All right, well, we'll take a look here down bottom as we get the G from one side. Waiting for Nemiga, as here we go. Back into the game.
Fast on this, Dandy, trying to sell the Dream Core.
No.
You can potentially morph into him, though, and phase shift, so...
yeah, he could actually, because we do have that level 1 phase shift now. It's only level 1 though, and it probably would still end up killing him off though, unfortunately. But yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like if you want to avoid something like the RP, for example, and then you lose your jaunt, that's another evasion still.
It's truly amazing just to have Arteezy yell at you.
I mean, it's not even yelling, right? This is Arteezy at the tank.
Excuse me, as a Arteezy, you know, stream notification gang follower, that is him yelling for sure.
Well,
he very rarely speaks, so
I know,
you know,
I know, that's what I'm saying though. Like compare that to Mason. If you see Mason yell, like,
well, it's a bit different. It's a bit different. Oh, mid lane. We might have a coil here, Dendy. At least getting the silence, managing not to get the rune, unfortunately, as that'll be bottled up here by the Void Spirit, who could have dispelled the silence if he wanted to with that one. Top lane. TP in here, as God's Strength active to push the tower. We did end up maxing here that Stormhammer. It's a long stun onto No Fear. I don't know if he's going to be able to live here either. It's level 3 Shadow Poison, so they just need a couple of more stacks. Unfortunately, they missed that third one, which may have been fatal. We'll be able to leave. I believe they've canceled a TP. No, actually, they have not, but the Magnus in trouble nonetheless. He's not going to be able to find an RP, and he is going to die to the Kisses Kiriteach. In fact, going down here to make sure he can get it.
I love that usually you see like good plays being made because you're always hit all the kisses. This was a good play because he did not trust this. Hit the last Mortimer skill. And it was correct. Kiriteach just got that kill in the end and stole away from the Snapfire to some degree. Obviously Snapfire just because she slightly missed it and hit the Magnus. And quite a tanky boy himself. So at least Kiriteach is having some impact in the early. He's already starting to build up to the Manta style. Oh, I thought that was going to actually be a Dragonlance.
I did too. I did too. Yeah. Yeah, Watson is going for a Manta style here as well, so it will not be the very traditional Chinese Actually, it's Manta Ag Shard, isn't it?
This is
for
so yeah, it's Manta Ag Shard. Yeah, sorry, Manta Ag Anim Scepter, then into Ag Anim Shard.
Yes, very true. Yeah.
We just want to clarify, we meant that from the beginning, but it's very confusing when these two items all have Ag.
Yeah, when they have the same prefix, for sure, it's a little bit, yeah, can get muddy very quickly. Clear as mud.
Kiriteach, he's gonna be farming fast though regardless, so he's a hero that can kind of match the DOTA, not as fast. But the team now
we don't have mana
to make a lot of space. Yeah, they go for Hellscream here. He's stuck in the Dream Coil, he's done for. The Chosen was trying to push his style with God's Strength. He got very close to it, but you just Sven.
Yeah, I think they didn't really want to have to use Dream Coil there to kill the Shadow Demon, but they had to because we were like 40 mana short of having Cogs for the pushback into the pretty easy kill there. So we had to use Coil instead for the Shadow Demon. I don't know if this is a kill onto the Sven either, to be honest. He's pretty tanky himself, especially with Phase Boots as well as that Broom Handle. Got a lot of armor, double Bracer, so yeah, that would have been a pretty difficult kill for him.
Yeah, he's actually maxing Warcry over the Cleave, make him much more of a utility. Just fine too, by the way. I think this or the maxing fleet. Well, Sven, depends on how you want to play. This just makes you a bit more and like a bit more utility here. Rikard looking for No Fear, the Mortimer's Kisses. They slow him down with a mark, and that should be No Fear dying to the Mortimer's Kisses. Well done. As Rikard is actually going for the Kai and Sanj build, so no big utility peak, more of an incremental improvement for this hero. But very useful for the mid game to be able to fight and also be a bit of a pseudo tank when Sven can.
Yeah, exactly. We need someone to be a bit tankier. Sven is here to absorb. Actually, look at this. Sven actually going for the medallion. So it's 2 medallions on the team. You can stack medallion and Solar Crest, but you do not stack 2 medallions on top of each other. So we'll see what he's going to be trying to use that one
or
for.
Or 2 Solar Crests. It has to be 2 different items.
Yeah, two different items. Exactly. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so imagine we're going to see like maybe Medallion and Snapfire and Solar Crest on the...
Do you think? Because what else does Snapfire want to go for? Oh, big kill to Kiritich.
You go for like Blink Shard.
Someone saw that.
Shard particularly is great.
I mean, I would agree, but it's a position 5. I think since Solar Crest is so cheap, I'd rather give the Solar Crest to the Snap and have Sven farm, I don't know, like a Blink or, yeah, the Halberd instead. He's got the Solar Crest queued up eventually, though, so we'll see.
Yeah, they find it just very useful to deal with. Kill the Morphin though.
Speaking of the DOTA.
Yeah, Watson using the Stone Gaze. Aincrad's like, please, please, please don't look at this scary Snake Lady. You need a mirror there. You need a shield that can act as a mirror.
You know, if Valve were true lore aficionados, Mirror Shield would turn Medusa into stone immediately. She would just die. She would die and never be able to respond. Yeah.
RP? Oh, with the sibling. He
that came out.
The RP there.
Yep, that came out.
That's
a big whiff, and I think Nemiga, that'll give him the confidence to go to high ground.
They have no more ultimates yet. Actually, Kiritich starts with the clockwork. They cookie him forward, and he's thought better. So trying to go for Dendy. Do they have enough damage though? You certainly can't catch up to him. Dendy, a bit too slippery.
Yeah, demonic Purge from Watson.
Hoping to go for the Deuce now. Gonna hit him with Terrorize. Kiritich still there, but Mortimer's Kiss is gonna slow down Watson a bit more. Watson super low on HP. Aincrad will end up dealing the final blow as they take down Watson for the Chosen One though. And it seems that these two cores are a bit too hasty. They went up to the tier 2, got punished by a Dream Coil, but Kiritich is actually tanking this decently for now. Has the cookie, unnecessary, instead using the waveform to get away.
TSA.
As Aincrad looking for the last bit of damage onto TSA, he will find it. But Hellscream has been left behind, and he'll also fall in exchange. Kiritich still trying to go for the tower as Bay is doing their best to defend it. Aincrad is no longer interested in this fight. He's going to keep on farming. Good fight, I would say, for Nemiga still. Like, they got the carry out of it, even if they lose the support.
Yeah, but they don't get that tower though.
That's true.
And I think
round 2 now.
Well, yeah, but now we have Stone Gaze ready to go. We'll have RP back in a minute. I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, they have to make another push, right? Like, they've got to make another push for this tier 1 tower, and we're gonna have probably every single ultimate, maybe except for RP, ready for that. And that's just a lot of time wasted for them, because I think Morphling, yeah, he doesn't die. They stopped the Medusa from farming, but it doesn't open up the map for him or anything. He could have farmed more gold if he was just hitting creep in the jungle. I don't know. I can't help but feel that they went for a little bit too much here for Nemiga. And they're going to go again here. Quick pick off on the TSA. Cookie into the Remnants, and I think they should have a kill here relatively easily. He's going to use the Bedlam. Dendy jumping in as well. Hookshot is going to find a Lodine, who is stunned to death. Cog pushback for Aincrad. We've got RP in 10 seconds, 15 make that here. As the Void Spirit now leashed up by the coil is going to be punished. And through it all, TSA still alive, but the tower has at least been taken by our Sven, who is now in the river, finding a regen rune, and he's going to be off and away.
So you can argue to a degree that was not the worst play, because even if you lose Aincrad, you think the tower has changed. But if you just lose the tower now as a result, bad, right? Free tower because they killed you. Someone needs to start to defend this somehow, but it's so difficult for it. Okay, there's going to be the Snapfire joining. And she has Mortimer's Kiss as well. Alright, that ends up being not really a win, I would say equal at least, but the tower is so important there to be able to take.
Yes.
I think Aincrad is justified that he goes that deep, just in space.
And Kiritich, notably that time, not in the fight as well. And again, he is going to lose this farm war if he does continue trying to fight like this, unless they get team wipes like every single time, because Deuce is just going to farm faster than him. That's just the nature of the hero. So we can see using the split shot. That's a stun. Oh, it's just on to creep. Hellscream and Lodine on a bit of an offensive mission here to the enemy jungle, who has Solar. Oh, Snapfire is still going for Solar Crest. They're going to double up on the Solar Crest.
Then stop going.
Okay.
Chosen One, there's a delay in our cast, so he's listening to you. Actually, no, it should be Lodine goal.
Yeah, I don't know what else you build on Lodine. If it were a position for Snapfire, I think Blink, Ags, maybe even just Shard is the right call. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Hellscream's your position 4, right? So let him get the farm.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, now the Chosen One can actually... maybe they also adapted this because they saw, hey, Chosen One's actually getting a fair amount of farm. Like, he's well farmed, you can be a carry, or not a carry, but a real core, rather than just utility. And you let the support... Because usually the offlane is somewhere between core and support, right? It's not quite there. But sometimes when you're playing like Slardar or Sven, you're like, I have a chance to carry this game. Or Tidehunter if your resolution. So there's that option, once it becomes a reality, it makes it easier for you to actually play the late game, because you don't have to depend just on them.
Yeah, definitely. The issue that they're going to find, though, is now that Limitless is mid-level 12, he's...
That's tutorial. He's going to go for the Chosen One. 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 He's going to go for the Chosen One.
he's now maxed this in power, so he's going to be able to farm not quite as quickly as this Sven, but he'll be able to not fall too far behind either. He's got a little bit of catching up to do because, of course, maxing Shockwave means you don't farm as fast immediately, but he'll get there eventually, as Rikard just says hello to Watson, trying to contest a bit of farm.
Yeah, so with Magnus, you don't really need to follow the Medusa around to her to get the fall. It's good in the team fights though, because she builds stats, so at least you give her base damage, right? There's no need for you to actually
Chosen one, he's under vision.
Be that buffer, and that allows you to farm.
Oh, nice stun. Nice stun. That'll suck Dendy in his tracks. That would have been a nice kill. Of course, that's the offlaner, but he's also like the tanky guy that just runs around right now for Nemiga Gaming. So if he dies there, that's probably the tier 1 tower gone. So nice stun indeed out from the Chosen one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let's see here. Anything else? Okay, Blink Dagger's finished for our Magnus on top of this mech. Probably going to be building into more utility following this. Dendy's about to have Blink Dagger on the way on top of the Witchblade, going for the exact same build as before. Clockwork going for the Medallion. Is going for Roshan here is Nemiga. Okay. This is not going to be too fast, but also not that slow. And they've scouted it already here, thanks to the Clockwork. And actually Nemiga, they're scared of it. And they're going to be killing the Clockwork. TP's coming here from Watson as well. Has already Aghanim Scepter, so he feels pretty damn strong here. Chosen one though, popping the stick is pretty tanky here. TSA, make that no fear, is going to buy back as Dendy now approaching from the mid lane. Into the river he goes. Kiritich jumping on in with the waveform aggressively. They've hit him now with the Stone Gaze. Kisses raining down. Dream Coil committed here for Kiritich, but they've not stopped Hellscream, so he's going to be able to save him with the Disruption. Terrorized dodge by the Mantis Style as the RP misses again onto the back lines. It's dodged a second time this game. They've killed the Magnus as well for that, so Embarrassment on top of a missed skill and Death to follow suit. No fear, trying to just tank up whatever he can here. Rikard out of spell, still has an Aether Remnant. The hookshot does find him here out from Rikard, or out from No Fear, who bombed back. Oh, still alive. Dendy looking to close the gap, but he's caught now by the Aether Remnant, as that is going to be the dieback for No Fear. Still on the river. Kiritich dying there as well. Hellscream turn into stone for another second, and right-clicked to death. Dendy with 2 kills. The Cookie's going to stun up Watson, and I think that's finally going to end our fight.
Good fight for Bait there towards the end. Did you see what killed Kiritich?
I did not.
Paying attention, he was full agility when the snake hit him.
Oof.
That was my own no. It was a very big... even with the army of Morphlings that were hitting the Dusa, they just can't match the Dusa. Now, Morphling deals a good single target damage, and usually has a good match against Dusa, but it has to get the items to match. Right now, it's just not efficient, and you don't have the greatest team fight. And as a result, Nemiga has to constantly catch up the Magnus, right? Kill him. And honestly, you made it with RP twice. I don't know what that RP wasn't the point, but it was still Nemiga being a bit limited by the fact that you don't have as good an initiator and you draft, and also not as good carry because Medusa is so reliable.
Oh, okay. They're immediately fighting here. Lodine snaps the coil.
Nice elusive. Then they can still get the kill potentially.
Radiant structure.
Yep, very good skewer indeed. That'll be maybe a tier 1 siege without the Snapfire here. We did have to buy back there on the Clockwork, so he's very poor now, but he just needs to play with Hookshot, and he has found a Hellscream. Cog pushed back into the arms of his team, silenced immediately, and down he goes. That'll be the tier 1 tower for sure this time around.
It's all for them. I think this game is... It'll be difficult for Nemiga. They want to back. They need to have some sort of condition.
He indeed was just caught in full agi by the snake.
I don't think these things should be happening as much. That's why even just maybe just an early BKB. Is that go for the Magnus here?
Yeah.
Magnus taunted, Solar Crest onto him with the key, with the stun. That's Limitless dead. Yeah, so maybe you have to go for something along the lines of like BKB, but the issue of BKB is that RP, Dreamcoil with Hags, of course, and the Stone Gaze still affect you. So it feels like a bit of a when you're only blocking, and Hookshot doesn't affect you too, so you're only blocking Dark Willow and Mystic Snake. And, well, the Mystic Snake is going to punish you time and time again as a Morph.
Now, once again, Clockwork just stopping this Roshan, taking its tracks. They're setting up for a kill here onto someone. That is going to be Dendi. And, oh, they don't quite kill him, though. Hookshot maybe just saving his life here as he gets the blink away. Demonic Purge, not going to be enough damage as Dendi bottles on up. They still get the kill, though, onto Roshan. Security able to use that space to secure the Aegis as Bates, caught up there trying to kill a Shadow Demon, are not going to be able to get themselves into the pit to contest that Rosh. Despite
the fact that Bait is winning in terms of kills and fights, Nemiga is still holding their own in terms of their tricore lineup is working. Right now you're slowly forcing Bait into seeing a big difference, right? Magnus is falling behind, Puck is still staying there, and Medusa is... But as this goes on, ideally Nemiga will be able to run this tricore into the late game, and Bait will have to be... And in that case, I just like Nemiga to start going for items like this. Right, Icat's Axe is very important. That should nullify the Puck for the most part. And then you just go for Heaven's Talbot against the DOTA. Even like the Scotty and the Morphling, of course. I don't know why Kurt is going for the E-Blade though. Seeing as Medusa's the problem, I feel like the Scotty's a much bigger mistake.
I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you on that one. The only thing I have to say is maybe they're just going to be looking to burst through Dendi, burst through these supports, and then just leave the DOTA alone to die. Because 1v5, I mean, she can't do it yet. We're not at that stage, and we won't be for like another 20 minutes, to be clear, right? Ags, Shard, as well as Ags, Scepter, Aghanim, Shard, Manta Style, and now Eye of Scotty for Watson. So he's slightly deviating from the build. Actually, he does not even have that Aghanim Shard queued up. Maybe they're just trying to secure second Roche to get it for free. But that is going to be scary. But until he gets a little bit more damage here on the Medusa, I don't... Wow, okay, I mean, he's got a lot of damage already here. And in fact, they may have a kill on Icard, but the cogs are a little slow to come out. Well, out in the tree, sets up the disruption. These DOTA illusions are going to be super annoying to deal with. And in fact, look at the amount of slows. They've managed to still stun up the DOTA. The disarm as well. The kisses now start raining on in. There's that E-Blade for a lot of magic damage here. Amps now even more as the RP. This time it catches two, but where's the follow-up? They just don't have it. The DOTA's already dead. No fear. Trying to get in there to at least allow the team to TP away, but Limitless is going to be caught and killed off here by Icard. And unfortunately, Bait pushing a bit too far. Is Dendi safe? He should be. He's out and away. Ooh, that was not what Bait wanted there in that fight.
You're already dead, says the... Right here. Managed to kill the DOTA there relatively early, and then as you said, I just feel like Magnus is a bit late. Limitless has not been having the best RPs. It's the ones that he whiffs, and then he gets finally a good one, but once Medusa's dead, so as you said, no follow-up. Of course, that was a difficult fight for Bait in general. Feels like we saw Watson a bit too far ahead for his team, and they couldn't initiate in time. Good play though by Nemiga. And this is the problem of the Formula 1 that it leads to, right? Now that everyone's concentrating on DOTA, that's your only idea. Just kill DOTA. Murder her and the team is in shambles, and that's exactly what...
Yeah, that E-Blade contributing to her death. Yeah. Not having Aghanim Shard. Maybe now we consider Ag Shard, but no, actually not quite yet here for the Medusa. I feel like, especially now that you've gone E-Blade Morphling, you know, you've got two abilities that he's going to be throwing at you time and time again. Having that Ag Shard, I think, sounds pretty tempting right now, to be honest. I'm shocked that we're going for damage first here on the Medusa instead of that Shard.
And I think the cold-blooded, sorry, is... Once you have Scotty, like what else?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it like saves you there, for example. Not like he had the gold anyway, but I'm...
No, it's the Stormhammer, it's the Adaptive Strike, or E-Blade, the Disruption. Almost every ability is targeted here. They're using them on you as well.
But what are they going to do? Who else are they going to use Demonic Purge on this game, right? They're going to purge the DOTA, obviously.
Especially if she has Empowered, it's true, yeah.
And now we don't have RP. 25 seconds to defend it. They've found the Chosen one. Dendi holding on to the coil here.
Dyer's middle tower
Wasted the cookie there. Heritage actually turns into the Magnus just to steal the Empower, it seems like.
Yeah. We tried to get a cheeky little skewer back as well, trying to catch someone, maybe after the waveform, but couldn't find him. Blinked out for the Chosen one, and he's going to be a bit more annoying here for sure.
I like that the Chosen one is still a pseudo carry though, honestly. Like, he hasn't gone for full utility. The Heaven's Halberd's like kind of giving you a bit of damage. Now you go for the Blink Dagger, gives you the initiation. He's thinking of Assault Crest or PK. Assault Crest is going to be great. The more air armor you have, the better DOTA's counter. So even though the lane for Sven wasn't too great, he did well, right, honestly. He played the lane well, even if the matchup wasn't great. And now in the mid game, the matchup versus...
Oh, okay, good. It's here. The Axe Shard. It's been delivered.
Okay, good. Alright, so now we have Cold-Blooded. Now she has a bit more tank ability. They won't be able to burst. Oh, Nemiga, I don't know. I think you're being baited here.
Oh, they've got a voice line. Oh boy, do I have a voice line for you.
Yep, but it seems like Bait is not even sure if they're baiting or not, because they're unsure about the power level after that last team. It makes sense. It's difficult to gauge, especially if the Deuce is the one being initiated on. Do they have enough damage to kill it?
Yeah, and then furthermore, that's them reminding themselves that, oh, Aegis is about to be reclaimed in 10 seconds. Let's not take a fight right now when Nemiga wants to fight. But they're not going to give him a chance, especially if Dendy's immediately popped. They've got no fear as well. So there goes the counter initiation. They may be able to catch up to the Dusa. They hookshot away to her. Demonic Purge is used, but the Cog's actually doing a great job of holding back the Morphlin as he waveforms now where the tier 2 used to stand. Continue to chase after Watson, who's got his move speed back. Walks into the 8th, the Remnant. He's going to get jumped yet again, but there's going to be now the Stone Gaze. The Cold-Blooded on security, and they've got him, Avo.
Yeah, they use that Cold-Blooded to get the RP off, and that's gonna be a huge kill on Watson. Now it's Bates' time to deliver the damage. I feel like Dendy might have just bought back here for nothing, unless he can catch Ioannis. Ioannis, illusory orb. Yeah, they can catch up to Lodin. That's the Dream Call used. Fine, you murdered Lodin. Do not go in there, Ioannis.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Please.
He's thinking about it.
I beg of you. Okay, that was a buyback for support. It's better than nothing, but it's certainly not the kill you were hoping for on the Void Spear, the Sven. I feel like the Nemiga can still cut lanes. It's a good fight for Bait, mind you, but the buyback was necessary.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's a great fight, but I do agree with you. The buyback not completely necessary there. We'll take another look at that one here. Cold-Blooded. Cold-Blooded got him. This is the strength of it. Full Agi yet again, and the RP right on top, man. They didn't even need the Dream Coil to set it up. Oh, okay. Anchor.
I think he's screwed. Yeah, that's too many stuns on top of that. With the damage,
that's a big kill.
Even with a Kai inside, yeah, that is a huge kill. That's exactly what Dendy was hoping for. Well, in the end, he gets it.
Yeah,
delayed, but it works.
No, I mean, absolutely. 100% worth it for him.
Yeah,
he's going to TP. Yeah, and he's got it.
Good play.
The Thunder hides. Get out of here. Don't come back. I have vision up high ground for some reason. I don't know how he saw him.
This Thunder hide is so happy. He's like, guys, I pushed up the enemy hero. I did it. I
He's
finally
alive.
committed my purpose as a creep.
Oh, no fear. Oh, I thought he was going to get it. No, it's going to be the Dusa. How did he see the Sven up there, though? Do neutrals get vision from wards or what? Because he was...
Here I am.
I don't know.
That's exact.
What the Thunder hide be? Thunder hide is also...
they did have vision. They did have vision.
No fear. Men have vision.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Maybe if you have vision, the neutrals have vision there too.
But then it would always follow you because you're a hero. Hero gets vision.
Silence.
Well, I guess, yeah. If you're within its range, then yeah, that's what it does, right?
All knowing, they're omniscient.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of scary, to be honest, because he was getting ready to fight. He used Frenzy and everything. He was like, come back down here. 28 HP, I'll 1v1 you.
Just got Scotty uncured. Big power spike now. You actually have a lot more tank ability here, so you won't be able to, they won't catch you out as easily. And now the only two things that need to happen in these team fights is Hellscream needs to be able to save Heritage whenever these initiate. He doesn't get caught out in the RP again. And just save the disruption for him, honestly. And that's pretty much it. That's the one thing. And killing obviously Magnus or Dendy in the beginning. That saves the AoE team fight. And then I think Nemiga is looking pretty strong. They can still play around the Dusa, but it's getting harder and harder to run Deuce 5.
It is, yeah, it is. And in fact, now Snapfire going for a second Halberd here.
Yeah, you're itemizing against Dusa. That's all you need to do. I mean, Sven is going for the Assault Grasp just against Dusa.
Yep, He's already got a Halberd as well, by the way, of course. E-Blade, an effective disarm as well for a couple of seconds until at least you decide to use Manta Style. But Watson, he's getting pretty scary here as well. We should mention, you know, we've checked up on the farms for Morphling. He's now got himself nearly the full Daedalus already completed. Just needs a couple of camps here, and he'll have that one finished off.
Okay, that's looking a bit scary. He'll be able to burst on the Morphling much easier, so Scotty's not going to matter as much. Not his Scotty, mind you, the Morphling Scotty.
Yes.
His Scotty matters a lot.
Interesting.
Because you're going to absolutely decimate the Morphling. You might just be able to get him off like a Will or something.
Yeah, very true.
Blink Dagger on that note is very important.
I was about to say, he's itemized perfectly for this. He's gone for a 4-staff first because it's a cheaper item for a cheaper build-up that still allows you to get in range. He needs to get Aether Lens. We see this a lot on position 4. Shadow Demon, Zayats does this, Hellscream does this. They're the big two that play the Shadow Demon 4 all the time. But it's big this game because not only, of course, it increases the cast range of Disruption, but it also means he can stand further away so he doesn't get caught by a Mystic Snake, bounce, and get turned into stone because then he cannot cast any spells. That's going to be nice for him.
Let's see if that Daedalus will help Morphling out enough to... With waveform attack targets, that's going to be a combination to go in. I'm assuming he's going to go for the 2 waveform charges. You know, I actually don't think the shard here for Morphling it. because that gives you adaptive strike agility to 1 second, 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
And on 3 heroes, you know? So like an initiation like that, when you're kind of lacking the initiation Bait has with Puck and relatively cheap build-up. Obviously after Daedalus, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's gonna get him turned to stone though, right?
Well, oh, right, yeah, because I guess
so
you don't get to choose if it hits the Deuce.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
That's a good...
That's the thing. I'd be a little bit scared about that. Because, of course, that's the only thing that's gotten him killed twice. 2 deaths this game, and, oh, well, actually, he's got 4 deaths this game, but 2 of them, at least, coming from the DOTA on that very annoying Ags. As we'll now have another Ag shard ready to go for Roshan, and a pause from Nemiga this time around.
You need to find a way to just break that shard with the support. Even starting with Demonic Purge, because, like, Demonic Purge is not the best ability. Until she has... you're not going to use it. Maybe on the Magnus is kind of decent. The idea is that I think you can maybe start with Demonic, and then because of the Aether, like Shadow Demon, and that way you swallow the Cold-Blooded.
I don't think you can, because what if it bounces to your Morphling? Then you don't have
but then you just have to... Yeah, it's all about the positioning. It's very difficult.
Then you don't have a say. I mean, I get what you're going for.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, ideally, it's like your Snapfire blinks onto the other side of him, uses, I don't know, a little Shredder's not targeted like that. Solar Crest won't reflect it. You need, like, but you know what I mean? Like, we need someone to just walk right up to the DOTA, far away from the rest of her team, pop Cold-Blooded, and then you go in, right? To just make sure one useless person is turned into stone. Useless for, of course, just popping Cold-Blooded. Maybe it's the Sven. Maybe just Sven needs to do it, and the Blink Dagger is the item that allows him to do it. He's still going to stun the DOTA with a Stormhammer and anyone else around her. He's going to be a little bit tanky, so he's not going to die immediately, and then Morphling can go in a bit aggressively. I think you just need to save Hellscream in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, you're right. It's very difficult to execute this on the... But it is so difficult to run in the Deuce. Maybe your option is just to ignore her completely. Like, just burst around her. Maybe that's the idea behind the shotgun as well. Like, kill everything around her and let just finish the Deuce.
I think you can do that before the Daedalus came online. I think it's a bit harder to do that now. Like, yes, ideally, but
Neutral toolkit vision.
Yeah, oh, good to know. I think it's a bit difficult for DOTA now, or to just ignore the DOTA. I think she's got too much damage. She's about to hit level 25 talent as well, and then she can proc on all of her arrows. Of course, using basically just Scotty and Daedalus at this stage. Going for a BKB on DOTA. They have found Lodin. He's going to be killed off immediately. Hello, Watson, with all of his damage.
All right. Dean almost has a Heaven's Halberd, actually.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The double Heaven's Halberd is essentially
Radiant
stop
structures are
I mean, you do have 2 ways. Like, you have 10 seconds, essentially, where you can't hit. That's a pretty large amount. Maybe if you can use the Heaven's Halberd.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah?
That's a possibility I see for ignoring her, right? Just try to get the Heaven's Halberd timed relatively easy.
I mean, that window is closing rapidly. You're right about this, but I will say, you know, me always being the contrarian here, Watson's about to have BKB, right? So as soon as he gets that BKB active, that strategy also a little bit goes out the window.
Yeah, you only have the first 5 seconds fast enough.
Yes, correct. So you're right, that's a consideration, but you know, that death onto Lodin, losing the top tier 1 tower as well makes it a little bit harder for you guys to contest Roche, because you can't buy back and instantly be back into the fight pretty much. Now you have to actually walk on over. It's getting tough. It's getting really tough for Nemiga. Bait, as always, we've commended their abilities in the late game, right? And already we're starting to get there 35 minutes in. I would say once we hit 40, 45 plus, I would say this game is not pretty squarely in their control, but they're going to have a nice advantage for sure. Dendi, he now has an Aghanim Scepter, by the way, and is going straight into the Aeon Disc next. Careful here, Mag with the Invis Rune. He's giving Vlad's aura to anything around him. As the Sven utilizing that God Strength, they make the jump. They have the Sentry Ward, they're baiting him out. No, RP not coming through. He's got buyback at the least, as Ioannis continues to chase across the river, but without any vision, they're hesitant to go any further. So they're probably going to look to force the buyback here, start up the Roshan. They can take it pretty quickly here, thanks to the amount of minus armor that they have on the team. Just needed to make sure they get the vision out first. There's the buyback, out from the Magnus now, Watson. Just kept off the river here by that 8th Remnant standing guard.
And it's off!
Let's see, Watson has a double damage now onto it. That could give you a lot of advantage here in the next Bait team fight. They even giving the bottle just be able to properly utilize it.
saving buyback for now.
It seemed tough for Nemiga to run this, honestly. I feel like Bait is so comfortable with it that you don't really have the best options again. The rest of the team, even though they're very underfarmed, it doesn't matter as much because all they need to do is get a decent team. So at least the execution, I would say, by Bait is quite easy. Something that's giving him a lot of confidence to this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Going pretty nicely for them as they look to set up some more vision. Bait's identifying that they've de-warded a sentry, so they probably have a ward here on the cliff. They'd be right about that. Watson, considering farming this wave top lane, he's a bit isolated from the rest of the team. Puck is down bottom right now, so Dendi wouldn't be here if they did want to try and snipe the DOTA, who's trying to get her level 25 talent here. There's BKB delivered for Watson. Does not have buyback though. He's 1,000 gold shy. I'll pull that stat up because it's to be more relevant here in this fight.
We'll go in, try to kill the clock first. That's a play here. Chosen one got turned into stone here. Now do we still have the stone gaze available? Yes, we do. Not using it yet.
They got Angry.
Die without the stone gaze. Just not even the RP committed there, actually.
Yeah.
Just a dream call there from Dendi.
Yep, now they can force his buyback. He really wanted to kill Limitless there. If they could get this dieback onto Limitless, that'd be awesome. But he forgot that not everyone can immediately be in the team fight as quickly as he can. And he is going to be hard to press here. Does he buy back, try and contest this Roshan? Yes, he will. They're going to go for it. There's that hook shot onto the high ground from No Fears. Roshan has been taken down. DD Rune still activated. So they get an RP, but it's only onto the Sven. That's going to stop him from counter-initiating to die back now onto the Clockwork. As Kiritich turning into the puck, might have a nice silence here onto 3, but DOTA turning them into stone now. Disarmed a second time by the Chosen One, nearly dying there to the Shockwave, but they have gotten the die back on a Limitless. Trapping Medusa here in the river as they have managed to outlast the Stone Gaze. Now trying to turn here. Kiritich still looking to try and fight. The Cookie stun there, and Watson still alive. A great terrorize, holding down Morphling, but an even better little bit of the Aether Remnant holding down Watson for a little bit longer. Trying now to get this die back onto Eincroyd, but he Astral steps away. Lodine on a hair of HP. Will Dendi jaunt in on this? No. He's going to go ahead and decide to play this one a bit more defensively, as they have lost 2 heroes, 2 diebacks as well. Watson hits 25 in the middle of that fight, has now the split shot, uses modifiers. BKB in the backpack here, ready to go, and Aegis, of course, in the inventory. Ag Shard for TSA, it looks like. Or maybe it was for Dendi. I'm not sure who quite picked that one up.
Such a limited imagination.
I would be surprised if they bought the wing. And I can't imagine any. Look like it was the bang. It's dead.
Stop jungling, let's push.
The Dendi voice line's getting ready. Trying to always play Dota 2, of course. We'll look to try and figure out who got what out of that fight. Well, Dendi's got the cheese at the very least, and still holding on to... Actually, no, he's just shy of his buyback, which needs a couple of creep, and I'll get it. But Aegis going the way towards Bait there, especially on the Deuces. A pretty big win. You get 2 diebacks at the very least out of it. Eincroyd having to bail out of that fight lest he lose his own dieback, and that would have been pretty bad here for the likes of Nemiga, especially with the tier 2 mid tower down. They could have just looked to barrel it right down mid.
God, they're allowing the... Yeah, I mean, that was... The kill on Mangas was very important. Settle that out somewhat as a bit more. I think the later this goes, the easier. Usually I wouldn't say that's against Deuce. Just so happens that, well, it depends. I guess if Bait can start to really get items on Dendi as well, and he can start to provide a bit more, not just coverage, but also option. Dendi wants to fight that way. We have seen heroes like, players like Limp, for example, itemize early into the team fight puck, and then as the game goes on, they try to be more of a suit carry, and that can match the tri-core lineup of the league.
Yeah, that sounds accurate. I think I'd wager that. That's kind of their plan. And Dendi is going... oh, that's already Aeon Disc here on the way, so he's bought out for that item. As we now have the tier 4s beginning to drop for both teams. Leveler is the perfect item for the DOTA. Probably going to be holding on to that one. Thank you very much. Telescope onto TSA. And Stormcrafter onto No Fear is also a really, really nice one. So some great items. Flicker for Limitless is fantastic here for dispelling that silence. Maybe even blinking forward a little bit forward and trying to close the gap for a nice RP.
I think you save it for the spell of this game, especially now you see the Shard Bramble Blades. So many things that you just want to be able to spell. Spell the Curse Crown before it hit. can't play. But being able to dispel the curse crown before it hits you is massive, especially now with a lower cooldown. And you don't really, I don't know if you want to go for Lotus Orb this game. I'd much rather see the Assault. Chosen One's been trying to build for free. He has fallen a bit behind, unfortunately. That's what Dendi has picked up. And Bait isn't playing well to make sure that at least they have a second to carry. The matchup in the late game between the Morphling and DOTA, I honestly think is as well. It depends on the rest of the team and how they can. Morphling has the advantage in these matchups. He's more flexible. Team fight, being able to kill the solo supports. DOTA kind of has a standing hit.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah. And DOTA also has a leveler and is destroying your tier 2 tower top lane. Dendi is split pushing down bottom as Nemiga will look to at least push the mid wave as far as they can to get a little bit of extra farm before they TP on back and look to defend high ground versus the angry snake lady and her Aegis of immortality.
Yeah, you just need to wait. There's no way you're beating up. Liebig got for the split shot, uses modifier, so now Sven and Morphling will be controlled at the same time, but the same Scotty. Oof, Chosen One is struggling a lot though against Mystic Snake. The Heavens Hover just to turn to stone.
Radiant's top tower.
Disruption. Maybe Shadow Demon could force that Mystic Snake with a force step. There's an option. Aether Remnant, okay.
Yeah,
it's just big is on DOTA though. What do you do? Maybe you just let the Rax fall as Skrff pushes bottom. You defend as much as possible.
They burned his mana very effectively there. He didn't actually get much with Mystic Snake, but I mean, that's, you know, almost the full tier 1 tower, or tier 3 tower taken. What was I going to go on about? Oh, right. DOTA doesn't have any problems killing her own illusions. She's going for the butterfly now on Watson, and I think I'd prefer to see, even though it's like very weak, because of course we have a lot of ways of disarming you. We've already gone over a couple of those. But Satanic just feels a little bit better this game, I think, for the DOTA. It's hard to say, because if you go for butterfly, you can't kill your own illusions, and then disruption is a really, really great counter to you.
Yeah, but I feel like that nullifies the morph. Because he doesn't like build a man can care about.
Okay.
So I think that you're thinking about, okay, now the Sven and Void Spirit are starting to pull off. I just have to deal with himself. And if that's the case, then forcing him to go MKB is a win. I do agree with the disruption point. In fact, I would like for the Shadow Demon to go for 2 charges of disruption once we get. I think that would be insane. It'd be really useful, both one offensively to the DOTA, which also might force out the Mystic Snake, so a big fight, and then proceed to go for 1 defensively.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me, to be honest. Why do these DOTA illusions? Oh, it's because he had the Aghanim's Blessing. Okay, so we've opened up another slot now for the DOTA, consuming the Ags. Lots of farm, of course, on this hero, so the boots are back in for Watson, at least for now. So he's going to pick up the final level stats here at level 26. We'll finally start getting that evasion talent here at 10, attack speed, stone gaze duration, and then the int, as Aegis is now reclaimed. Slotted in there for the empty Aegis, and looks like for now it's Satanic, so we'll see what he decides. You won me over there on the butterfly point, so I think the butterfly is the superior choice here.
Also, the one thing I would say about Satanic, I mean, he might be considering the same point you were saying. I don't think either is bad, by the way. But the one issue you have with Satanic is that if you hit on Scotty, that's going to at least
or if you just disarmed 24/7.
Hook shot, they already went in, trying to catch Lodin, but hardest target to kill early. Even as Flicker, they actually give it to Lodin instead. Fair enough. Watson, here comes the Chosen One. Stormhammer hits, but there's no follow-up. There's no Aegis on Watson, but it seems like they have an intention of fighting. Minecraft really trying to go in. It's crazy Minecraft, but it's the similar to get back out. That was part of the plan.
They already lost tier 3s though. Yeah, I mean that was that. There go the barracks. I mean, it's damned if you go in because this DOTA just pops Stone Gaze. Damned if you don't. You know, you want to try and harass her with all your abilities, but you just end up refilling her mana for her anyway. What do you do against this?
Honestly, like I said, I think it's just a big obstacle they have. And while Nemiga's trying to itemize against this big obstacle, Bait is getting more farm on their puck and allowing him to be a set. There's also a concern for them. Alright, can you find someone to simulate? No, use very defensively here. Everyone is annoying. At least they do catch up to Dendi though, who's out of position.
Yeah. Big kill.
That's a
and Disc was just about to come off cooldown as well, but they got him right before it happened. Rikard buying a lot of space and time for the rest of his teammates as well.
Oh, he does have the simulates talent now. That stun is really useful against a dude. That's actually a good way to deal. He's not a particularly mobile carry. Goes in one with a smoke, just walking in. God Strength's available. You haven't top return first. Are they trying to get a kill here? No, it just seems the Chosen One was
tower is under attack.
initiating to Rapier, maybe hoping to pop the Stone Gaze there.
But Dendy's here.
Double though, yeah, Dendy joined in. Hookshot also
Great hook shot.
Awkward positions here. Heritage will kill off No Fear. As there's a illusory orb, Stone Gaze used as well, but Watson placed in Heaven's Halberd, and they also managed to finish off Limitless. Watson, let's get disrupted here. Now they're going to use his illusions against him, but they get the BKB still. Watson, no butterfly just yet. Oh my god, illusions are destroying him though! Ooh, Watson! I was wrong on my butterfly point. Don't buy butterfly. This game's over if you buy butterfly. The illusions are the strongest thing in this game.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That was very scary. Oh my goodness. Holy moly.
Watson could believe it. I mean, I know Disruption has some of the strongest illusions in the game, but still though, wow. Oh my god. They're too tanky. You can't kill them as quickly because you actually went for a lot of stats, not just intelligence, right? So, we're actually quite a tanky hero. You struggle to deal as much damage.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done with Butterfly, I'm done with Satanic. They both give stats to my illusions. I'm going Rapier. That's the option.
Yep, Rapiers, of course, do not give bonus damage to illusions, which is going to be very nice for the DOTA, because if they did, oh boy, would she be dying a whole lot this game.
Yeah, but now with Rapier, I mean, you are risking it a bit, but now the Disruption trick won't work as well, because you also kill the illusion. Alright. I mean, this Rapier is going to be the be-all, end-all. I feel like if Bait catch it on the Morphling tower, it's like crazy. In fact, look at Heritage. She's actually considering a slice. The Eternal Envy build. Whenever it's late enough in the game, Eternal Envy, even whatever carry he's playing, will always play this.
Incoming!
Yeah, that works up. That's going to give you a little bit more catch for the booster. Dean, there's a Storm Hammer stopping those people. Dean, okay, that's a fair amount of damage from the Shadow Demon. Demonic Purge, I'll use it. Ioannis, what are you doing?
Oh,
he got he had the disc, but doesn't have time to actually have something to look finally. Even despite the RP, Status Resistance saved him completely. Looking for the shotgun here, Heritage, and also to save his teammate. How does he get out though? No more waveform charges. He gets turned to stone. A lot of damage from the Dusa as the Rapier. He can't tank that. Mortimer's gonna start to catch up the Magus. Watson's been slowed down. The help though from the Soul Catcher.
Another disruption.
Really stopping the Dusa. There the illusions come out, but Watson eliminates him in a matter of seconds. No Fear finally falls. It's the second time they kill him, so it's a dieback for them. As the Flicker saving Odina bits, he's the opportunity to go for the cookie. They're also going for the Sven. Chosen One is perma-stoned here, but Chosen One still wants to fight. So many brambles around him. Chosen One pushed into one of them. Another disruption.
Another disarm.
In time. She's been silenced. Avoids a Stormhammer. No, the Modestat wasn't good enough. The Simile is well keeping her stunned. Where's the Morphing to help out though? They just lack the damage. And Satanic will keep Watson alive. At least they get a dieback on the Clockwork, but I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, no, they're going to be needing more for sure, but they're doing such a great job of playing around the raid boss Dusa here. So much control on her. She can barely get off any attacks in these team fights, Abo. It's insane. And now no one from Bigot has buyback at the current stage. Dendy, his is still on cooldown. Limitless as well. No Fear bought back in that engagement, died it back as well. So it's really realistically only going to be TSA with buyback here for this Roshan. Roshan number 3, he has an Aghanim's shard, or sorry, make that refresher shard available on him now.
Radiant are scanning.
Guard. Bait. I can't imagine Nemiga can utilize. Maybe Mortimer's. I know. I mean, maybe you just give it to like Morphling, Sven, or Void Spirit to refresh one of their ability. It doesn't seem that strong for Nemiga, whereas Bait has double RP, double Stone Gaze. Both are incredible. Or Triple Dream Coil. It feels like this Roshan is very uneven because it didn't come with the Axe. Which Axe, by the way, would be very uneven because Nemiga would love to get an Axe here on the game.
Yeah, I think Refresher Shot is going to be useful for maybe like refreshing the Aeon Disc here for the Void Spirit. That's going to allow them to play much more aggressively. I think like they can still use it. I agree that they'd love Ags if they could get away with it, but RNG not in their favor here.
That's the double damage doing work, huh? Okay, they gotta take it. Yep, and then it goes Ioannis, just creating some space. We heard a Godec as well. Mortimer's gets his Chosen One. Going yet again for No Fear. Chosen One really keeps No Fear. And Watson's actually in trouble here, but use the Satanic. He'll back up. We go for the help. The RP will stop the Chosen One, but Morphling is mad with the Loucas out. The Stone Gaze saving her for a second. Watson fighting back, and let's see if he can get the kill in here. The poor Morphling falls. It's gonna be an Aegis though, so he has a second life, and they still want the Dusa. They walk that Rapier onto the floor. The Silhouette still stuns her. 2.5 seconds. Will that be sufficient? No. Ioannis instead is falling. That damage of Rapier's too high. And Character is stuck in the Bramble Maze. He couldn't help in time. Wants to fun down to Mana. Kyrgios trying to heal back up. They disarm him as well. Kyrgios is doing his best. And it's like working. Reapers on the floor. Kyrgios takes it. Dendi is left alone without his teammates. Dendi, no power of friendship. Has a lot of escape, but Lodina's catching up to him. Lodin blinks to the wrong side as Dendi can almost get away with a waiting Rift. And it seems like at least he'll survive. But you have Morphling with Rapier and do so without buyback, Richie.
Yeah, that's most likely the game here, unfortunately. I mean, they've just used everything in that fight, and they know there's no buyback available. It's just TSA and Dendi, as the voice lines are going to be coming out now. An absolutely wild fight for the Roshan. Dude's nearly dying as well on her first life, but managing to turn around a big Mystic Snake back, activates Satanic, fights through it, but eventually she's not tanky enough. They take her down, the Gorgon's down, and Bates, they are going to likely fall 2-0 here. That is going to remove any chances here for them to try and get into the upper division for the next season. But this does buy Nemiga a glimmer of hope for making it into the upper division, or at least trying.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again. redemption ever came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. done.